You could not ask for a more perfect Saturday afternoon for college basketball than we've got in Fayetteville, Arkansas, on the campus of the University of Arkansas. An outstanding Southeastern Conference matchup for you today, as well as a top 20 matchup. The Tennessee Volunteers and the Arkansas Razorbacks, both 4-1 on the year. A very pleasant good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our broadcast, Arkansas and Tennessee. I'm Mike Neal, and what a great pleasure it is to be working with former Tennessee great, former All-Southeastern Conference quarterback Conridge Holloway. And Conridge, what a day for college football.
Unbelievable. I mean, the stands are packed with red and white, and a little bit of orange and white there too, but the fans are ready to go.
About 7,000 Tennessee fans have made their way to the hills of northwest Arkansas for this afternoon's matchup, which should be a good one. Tennessee ranked 10th in the country. Arkansas is ranked 18th in the country. And as well as the team matchups, we have some outstanding individual matchups in this one this afternoon. And Conridge, let's begin with the quarterbacks. And when you talk Tennessee, you talk Peyton Manning, just a sophomore, over 1,200 yards already, and he's a dandy.
Sophomore with great size, and he put on another 15 pounds this year, but boy, he has great bloodline, so he has all the questions and answers.
The son of Archie Manning, the former great at Ole Miss, and of course the New Orleans Saints. For Arkansas, Barry Lunney Jr. is a fourth-year senior who is really the captain and leader of this Razorback football team. He's put up some outstanding numbers, the all-time leader in pass completions at the University of Arkansas. The running backs, Jay Graham of Tennessee, will try to get that running game going for the Vols today, Conridge.
Well, he sure will, and Jay's had to wait a while to get his chance, and now he's got the opportunity. He's a very strong kid, and he's looking forward to being the leader on this team.
He is a junior, of course, for Arkansas. A young sophomore by the name of Madre Hill out of Malvern, Arkansas, has already rushed for 666 yards, and Conridge, here's a young man for Arkansas that can be a game breaker.
I tell you, I like his size, and I also like his shiftiness, and I think he'll be a major factor with the Arkansas offense.
We have a sellout crowd at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, nearly 52,000 to see Arkansas and Tennessee. It is also a great pleasure to be working with Mike Keith on the Tennessee sideline, Joe Ferguson, former Razorback great, on the Arkansas sideline. They are together. Let's go down and check on the weather. And gentlemen, if we could, get your take on these two teams.
Football team. They've come out this year 4-1, and the one loss, of course, a crusher to Florida, 62-37. They've bounced back the last 2 weeks and played very well. Let's see if they can do it again for a third straight time today. Confidence, a big factor in the Volunteers. And Joe Ferguson, it's the same thing for the Arkansas Razorbacks, winners of 4 in a row.
Well, they're a very confident football team. They're riding high now on 4 wins in a row. They lost early in the season, but they've got 4 wins now. Danny Ford's got this football team fired up to play a hard-nosed Tennessee football team. We got a sellout crowd here for a homecoming game. It's going to be exciting. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Joe and Mike, we will look forward to hearing from you throughout the afternoon. Well, I tell you what, it is a perfect weather afternoon for college football. Temperature must be in the low 70s here. It is a sun-drenched Razorback Stadium as we get set for the kickoff. Arkansas won the toss, deferred to Tennessee. Tennessee will receive, and Arkansas will defend the north goal, and we are underway as Todd Lalorette legs it through the end zone, and Tennessee is going to take over 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. And Conridge, if you're Arkansas head coach Danny Ford, you've got to like the way Todd Lalorette has come on, kick it out of the end zone, and no chance for a return.
Well, I tell you, when the coach can make a speech at the beginning of the game and get the kicker fired up, it must have been a good one.
Peyton Manning will open up at quarterback for Tennessee. Wide receivers, 2 to the right side, 1 to the left side. First offensive play of the ball game. Arkansas showing the blitz. The handoff is to Graham, and Graham is going to be hit in the backfield. And he is hit by Junior Soley, the nose guard, and Arkansas's Butkus Award candidate at linebacker, Mark Smith.
Well, I tell you, it's from the Tennessee standpoint, they're lining up a whole new lineup on the offensive line. And right now, the quarterback Manning with his normal receivers, but their offensive line has made a big switch there.
They have made some changes. A loss of 3 on the play. It is 2nd down and 13. Manning down under, 3 steps back, drops and throws to the sideline, and over there quickly for Arkansas is Spencer Brown, also Vincent Bradford.
That was just a little out pattern and just trying to regain some of the loss that was on the previous play. And Tennessee sets up things when they do stuff like that. You can look for that to be an out and up later in the game and probably a pump fake.
Big 3rd down here facing the Tennessee Volunteers as Arkansas crowd is on its feet. Manning drops back, looks to the left, drops the football and had to fall on it. And Tennessee is going to have to give it up on downs. Peyton Manning dropped back, looking for his receivers, tried to maneuver the football, and his hands just dropped it on the ground.
Well, I think he was trying to throw to the flare back and just tried to double pumped it. He decided he didn't want to, and when he pulled it back in, the ball came out. He did a smart thing getting on the ball, not trying to make a play, just punt it away and line up to play another day.
You saw the Arkansas defensive starters led by Mark Smith. Here's the punt, high punt that is going to be taken by J.J. Metters at the 44-yard line. Flags are down as the Tennessee kick coverage team is down there to make the stop. No gain on the return, and let's see what the flags are all about.
Got a little clip there, pushing the back.
We have played 2 minutes of this ball game. Minute 59. Arkansas will get its first possession offensively. And for Arkansas, it'll be Barry Lunney at quarterback. Madre Hill is the tailback in the ball game. Wide receivers Anthony Eubanks and J.J. Metters. 52,000 at Razorback Stadium. Tennessee leads this series with Arkansas 5-1. The only Arkansas victory was in the Razorbacks' first year in the SEC, 1992 in Knoxville, when Tennessee was ranked 4th in the country, and a young Barry Lunney came in as a freshman, took over in that ball game, led his Razorbacks into position for Todd Wright to kick a game-winning field goal, and the Razorbacks came away with a 1-point victory, and that was a big victory for Arkansas at the time. The Razorbacks still trying to claw their way into this SEC football structure and make themselves a team to be contended with, but I think they're making good starts.
They are making great strides, and I'll tell you, Danny Ford has done a great job, and I think referring back to that Arkansas game, everybody remembered that, and Barry Lunney did a great job of staying poised as a young player in that game.
Lunney with the lone setback. That is Madre Hill. 3 wide receivers. Lunney drops, looking downfield, turns the other way, finds a man out to about the 40, maybe the 41-yard line.
You can chalk that completion up to great offensive line play. Barry Lunney had plenty of time to look around and search the field, and I believe the receiver that he finally ended up throwing to was probably 3rd or 4th. If you'll take a look right here, he just makes a three-step drop, comes all the way to the other side of the field. The only way you can do that on a 3-step drop is to have good line protection.
Otto Cotton on the reception. Here's the pitch to Madre Hill, trying to get outside. Hill up to about the 45-yard line, and it appears that he got past that first down marker and did, and Arkansas will have the first down of this football game just past its own 45-yard line. Here are the starters for Arkansas: Barry Lunney, Dexter Hebert, Madre Hill, Johnson, Eubanks, and Metters, the receivers, and up front Alderson, Mitchell, Scott Brown, and Showers. 1st and 10 Arkansas at the 46, and in motion to the near side. Lunney's got a hand to Madre Hill, and Hill straight ahead for about 3 yards. Arkansas would like very much to establish a running game, maintain some possession here, run the clock, and One of the best defenses against this Tennessee team is to keep that offense off the field.
Off the field. Arkansas creates a problem when they go into 2 tight end set. It makes you fill another gap. You've got 8 gaps at that center.
4 receivers split out. The pitch to Madre Hill, and Tennessee had that one smelled out, and Steve White was not fooled. He is a 6'2", 246-pound senior out of Memphis, Tennessee, and that's his 4th stop behind the line of scrimmage now, but he reacted very well.
You can see Barry Lunny point to himself after this. What he didn't do was come down and challenge the end, and as he turned and walked away, he looked to the sideline and said it was my fault. And you know, that's, if he challenges the end, that's not a bad play because it was set up pretty good, but you've got to challenge that defensive end and make him take you or the pitch man.
Steve White got help from Scott Gallion on that last tackle. 3rd down play facing Lunny. Flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his left, and Barry Lunny, if he doesn't have an open receiver, most times will not put it up, and chased out over there on the far sideline by Shane Burton. And Arkansas is going to have to kick it away. Up front defensively for Tennessee, you see Little, Burton, Green, White, Kidd, Hines, and Gallion. And in the secondary, Jenkins, Austin, Knoll, and Johnson. Matt Waite will punt it away for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Good snap and a driving kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 17-yard line and returned up over the 30 by Summers. So good field position, Conridge Holloway, for Tennessee. Did someone say a moment ago that Tennessee having to punt on that first possession, the first time all year they hadn't scored on an opening possession?
That's the first time they haven't scored on an opening possession this year, and that just shows you how fired up this Arkansas bunch is. I'll tell you that they came out with a lot of excitement.
Peyton Manning will bring the Volunteers to the line of scrimmage. First down at the 31. Manning. A little quick reverse, but Arkansas reacts quickly over there. That is Vincent Bradford, a weak side linebacker, junior out of Malvern, Arkansas.
See, that's just a case of the lineman not getting out in front of the screen, but that happens when you change positions with people. If you take a look at that, there's Bubba Miller is supposed to be out in front of that screen, and Bubba has switched from center to tackle, so it's a little adjustment period for him, but that's not a bad play. It was just a great play by Arkansas to come up and force the action.
Gain of about 2 on the play. It's 2nd down and 8. Manning, a little quick out that is just dropped. That was thrown out there to Kyler, and he just dropped it.
That's just a case of not looking the ball in and trying to run before you get it. Nice, safe little play, little out pattern. Probably would have had a first down, but got to catch the ball first.
3rd and 8, that Arkansas defense, you'll see jumping around there. Manning drops straight back, throws to the sideline, and caught nicely over there at about the 45-yard line by Kent, who is the favorite receiver of Manning to this point in the season. Young man out of Huntsville, Alabama, 6'1", 184, and a junior, had 25 catches for 388 yards and 2 touchdowns coming into this afternoon's ball game. The thing about Peyton Manning is he'll go to a lot of receivers, though. In every one of Tennessee's game, he's thrown to at least 8 receivers, and last week he threw to 9 different receivers.
That's one thing they do well.
Manning wants to go deep, has a man out there at the 15, touchdown Tennessee. And that is Joey Kent, the young man we were just talking about. And Conridge Holloway early in this broadcast, when Manning threw the little out pass, said later in this ball game that's going to be a little fake pump and streak route down the sideline. That's exactly what Tennessee did and burned Arkansas's secondary.
That's what we got right there. It's just a little fade action pattern, and it's away from the defensive backs. The defensive backs have a tendency when the ball's away or the quarterback back is away to not look at their receiver, not stay as deep as their deepest man, and that was just a mistake and a good play by Tennessee.
Jeff Hall to attempt the extra point. It is good, and with 9 minutes and 17 seconds to play in the first quarter, Tennessee has jumped on top of Arkansas by a score of 7-0. This is a young series. As we mentioned, Tennessee leading 5-1, but it's one I think that's going to develop into a great one. Here's the touchdown pass again, Conrad.
This is one thing that Peyton has really worked hard on this past off season, is throwing the deep ball. He had quite a few instances last year where things were just a little bit short, and I think that the fact that he put on a little extra muscle and he's worked so hard and so diligently to perfect his deep ball, there was nothing wrong with that one. He led Joey Kent perfectly and got a lot of air on it, and it was just a perfect play. I have to keep up with Joey Kent, you know, being those hometown guys. He's from Huntsville, Alabama. I have to, you know, his dad won't forgive me if I don't keep up with him and keep him straight there.
And speaking of dads, Peyton's dad, Archie Manning, is in the crowd here this afternoon to see his son play against Arkansas. Archie and our man on the Arkansas sideline, Joe Ferguson, had a few battles.
Had a few matchups. I enjoyed watching that, too.
Both in college and in the NFL. Kick is going to go out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. The flag goes down, and Arkansas is going to take possession with outstanding field position now out at the 35-yard line.
That's the mistake. You don't want to do that. That's not a positive play after a big scoring touchdown drive. You don't want to kick the ball out of bounds.
When you think of Tennessee, you think of quick strikes, and certainly that's what the Volunteers did on that last possession. 4 plays, 69 yards, took us 55 seconds off the clock. Lonnie again with just one setback. That is Mondre Hill, 4 wide receivers. Lonnie looking over Anthony Eubanks at about the 45 of Tennessee, and then dragged down at about the 44-yard line.
That was just a little crossing pattern, and Barry Lunny really put some steam on that one. He got back, got set properly. If you take a look right here, this is one of those patterns that's behind the linebackers. That's just a perfect strike. You know, when you get them like that, you're able to catch it and run, and that's Barry Lunny put that one right on the numbers.
Torrey Knoll coming up to make the stop for the Volunteers. 1st and 10 Arkansas in Tennessee territory at the 44. Funny fake looking downfield again. He's got a man, J.J. Metters, down there, and Metters thought he was held up. The officials say no, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know how things kind of get distorted in the stats. How big is Metters, really?
Well, they've got him listed at 5'6", but I think they stretched that a bunch.
Okay.
And really, Conrad, when you're throwing to a receiver like that downfield, unless he is out there all by himself, that's a tough target.
Very tough, because if there's any height close to that, you just can't get the ball, you can't drop it in there. You have to throw it on the line.
2nd and 10. Mondre Hill started up inside and then tried to veer it outside, and Tennessee reacted well along the line of scrimmage. Tyrone Hines, one of those players there for the Volunteers.
Tyrone's one of those players that's come along since last year, too. He got a little taste of success last year, and he's just taken over now, and he wants to be the forceful guy in that lineup. 29
tackles on the year coming into the ball game. Junior, 6'2", 226. Tyrone Hines. Money facing 3rd and 10. Drops straight back, looks over the middle. There is Eubanks again. And Eubanks at the 30-yard line. And I believe that was Torrey Knoll again coming up to make the initial hit. Eubanks very nearly pulled out of the grasp.
Well, I tell you, Barry Lunny is doing a job right now on the Tennessee linebackers. If you'll take a look, they're not getting deep enough, and when they don't get deep enough in a cover 2 scheme, there's a big gap between linebackers and the top of the secondary coverage, and that pattern will be open all day if the Tennessee linebackers don't get a little more depth.
Lunny has thrown just 1 interception all year long. Flags before the snap. Let's see what the call is. Lunny 64% passer and thrown for 851 yards coming into this
Dead
game.
ball foul. False start on the tight end. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So marked off 5 against Arkansas. Second penalty of the ball game against Arkansas. Watch the left guard there move just a little bit too quickly.
Little arm movement. That Arkansas offensive line is trimmed down this year. Oh, they look great.
2 tight ends into the ball game. Out to Madre Hill. Hill pops it at the line of scrimmage, but lost his balance and stumbled up to about the 26-yard line, where
if he doesn't, I think we're lining up for an extra point. That was a big hole there, and Madre Hill just got caught up in, I believe somebody may have tripped him, or let's take a look here. A good move right there. Well, it was just a little trip. That was Leonard Little. Got a hand on him there, and he knocked him down, or that's in the end zone.
3 wide receivers for Lunny. Dumps it off to Madre Hill. Look out. Hill finds a crease. Couple of Tennessee players are down on the field. Madre Hill, not only dangerous as a ball carrier, Condridge, but once he makes that catch out of the backfield.
This is just a little slip screen. If you'll take a look at the lineman out in front, this is a well-executed play. It's just a little screen outside. It's called slip screen because you go outside, and just excellent blocking. And I tell you, you can't give Madre Hill a little crack. That's going to be 6 every time. That was a great run.
666 yards coming into this ball game. Arkansas's leading rusher a year ago, Oscar Malone, rushed for 581 yards.
Wow, that's a little improvement in the running game, and I think that's all due to the new attitude taken on by the offensive lineman that came back this year.
That is Madre Hill's 11th rushing touchdown of the year. And it obviously was not a rushing touchdown, but his 11th touchdown of the year. 6:34 to play in the opening quarter, and Arkansas will try to tie it up here. Latterette with the kick is up. It is good. And we've got a new ball game with 6 minutes and 34 seconds to play in the opening quarter of football. And how big is that for Arkansas to answer the quick strike by Tennessee?
Well, if you just take a look right here, it's just a little drop to make the lineman rush, and see the lineman slip out. A little slip screen. Now watch the block start. 1, 2, 3 right there, and there it is. That's a touchdown. That's just a well-executed play. I tell you, that's a very large play, because to react that way after being beat on a big play puts the game back even again. I mean, not only in the score, but as far as momentum is concerned, because if you don't answer that, Tennessee gets the ball back, you never know what might happen.
Great shot from ground level. The Arkansas scoring drive, 6 plays, 65 yards, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Barry Lunny to Madre Hill. This is a natural grass surface at Razorback Stadium. It was installed during the summer months. First time Arkansas has played on natural grass at home since 1968. The players love it, players on both sides. Rod Latterette, about 7 yards deep into the end zone. Tennessee will not run it back, and the Vols will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Peyton Manning on the first 2 series for Tennessee, 4 for 5, 75 yards and a touchdown, and guess who he went to most of the time?
No doubt who his favorite receiver was so far. Joey Kent's 4 receptions for 75 yards, so that's he's the only person that's touched the ball. Of course, there was 1 drop, though, so he has spread it out a little bit. Hand
off to Graham, and Graham gets some running room across the 25 and out to about the 28-yard line. Good run by Graham. I know that Philip Fulmer would like to establish some sort of a running game. Tough to do when Graham's about it you have in the backfield as far as running the football.
Well, I think Tennessee's philosophy is that formation-wise to see how people are going to play it. They line up in 5 wides, they want to see how you're going to line up. And when they go running game, they usually go with the eye backfield. But as you mentioned before, when they are in the one-back set, it's not hard to key who the ball's going to go to.
Straight ahead, good power running by Eric Lane, 6'2", 217-pound junior out of East Orange, New Jersey. Has not carried a lot. In fact, that's only his 10th carry of the year, but he's averaging around 5 yards per carry. Scored a couple of touchdowns. It is a first down, however. Arkansas showing blitz. Tennessee picked it up well, and the pass out toward the sideline is incomplete. Arkansas got a little rush on there. Let's go down to the sidelines. Joe Ferguson. Joe?
Well, Arkansas is using a 3-wide receiver look. It's forcing the wide side linebacker to move out on the middle receiver with 2 deep in the secondary. It's going to open up the middle there. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the linebackers to cover the middle, and I think Arkansas is going to explore that.
All right, Joe. Thanks very much. 2nd down and 10 for Tennessee. Pitch to Graham. He's going to try to take it outside, but Mike Nunnerly did a good job in slowing him down, and although he got by Nunnerly and picked up a yard or 2, what could have been a big gainer was nullified there by Nunnerly.
This is a new switch for Tennessee to run the toss sweep out of split backs. That's something they haven't shown before, but tell you, this play was almost dead in the water from the beginning. When you can string out a sweep, you don't give it much chance of being successful. The crowd's getting into it now.
3rd and 8, and there's a good look at the young sophomore, Peyton Manning. Good pressure, and the pass was underthrown, but Manning had to get rid of it. Arkansas got a good rush. That time, Anthony Hicks was in there.
If you take a look, Peyton Manning's not ready to throw this ball, and boy, that was great pressure. That's a sack that wasn't accounted for, but it was a pressure incompletion. That's why that ball was not completed. That was close.
J.J. Metters is back. The kick is going to go out of bounds down around the Arkansas 39-yard line. Arkansas very nearly got to the kick. And this young kicker, the punter, Larry Binion, a junior out of Mesa, Arizona, has had some struggles punting the football this year.
It's yes, he has. It's been a learning experience for him, and you know, once you have any problems in the kicking game, everybody you play wants to explore that option to see if you corrected that. So I don't think that'll be the last time we'll see Arkansas come after the punt.
All right, here's Barry Lunny now. Brings his offense to the line of scrimmage. Some movement along that line of scrimmage. Looked like Tennessee may have jumped a little bit. We'll see what the officials say. 52,728 here today.
Good ball, foul, contact.
It's the largest crowd to see an SEC game in Razorback Stadium, and the 4th largest Razorback Stadium crowd ever. And what an afternoon they've got for football here.
Perfect. Perfect.
5 yards against Tennessee, so Arkansas looking at 1st and 5. Lone setback. Double wideouts and 2 tight ends. Hand off to Madre Hill, and Hill's going to fall forward for a yard or 2. But Burton, Shane Burton was in there. Senior out of Catawba, North Carolina. Just 2 seniors on that front 4 for Tennessee. Shane Burton and Steve White.
Very young bunch.
Give him a gain of about 1. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Money rolling to his left, being chased, throws downfield, and it is caught. Mark Baker, tight end out of Osceola, Arkansas, 6'3", 241, a sophomore.
Now there's a senior play for you. This play had all the earmarks of being a bad play, but you have to be patient sometimes. Now, a younger kid might have tucked that under and run. Mr. Lunny knows where his players are. He finds his third receiver, makes a completion, takes a little shot for it, but a senior knows these type of things, and you've just got to stay cool under pressure.
First down, Arkansas. Being tied at 7. Lunny again to the air. Intended for J.J. Metters and thrown behind him just a little bit. I think Lunny thought Metters was going to turn outside. Instead,
they're conversing right now. It looks like a little communication.
Senior out of Ruston, Louisiana, turned it to the inside. I think you're right there. Baker comes out of the ball game. Arkansas will put another wide receiver in.
Here's the formation that Joe was alluding to on the field. Let's see if they try to go across the middle again.
Lunny a straight drop. Has a man open downfield. That is Anthony Lucas. Lucas at the 10-yard line will take it in for the touchdown. Anthony Lucas has become in a short time a big-time receiver for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
I tell you, look, take a look at this pattern right here. Lunny buys a lot of time, but here's a freshman that's making plays like that. Boy, you got to stand up and cheer and say, boy, we got 3 more years of this. That's fantastic for a freshman.
Laderette, after the snap was bobbled, Matt Waite still got it down. Laderette kicked it through. That is Anthony Lucas's second collegiate touchdown. A young man who has become quite a target for Barry Lunny. He's 6'3" to begin with, Conridge. Has great hands and concentration. Very humble young man, but a young man out of Tallulah, Louisiana, who really has shown a great ability to alter his routes and change his routes when he sees his quarterback in trouble.
Well, he did just that, because you could tell by the drop and where Lunny was looking that he was not the primary receiver. And what he did, he kept working with his quarterback, got in sight, and Lunny got him the football. It's a touchdown.
Let's go down to the sidelines and Joe Ferguson. Joe?
What you're going to see is you're going to see 2 different type offenses today. You're going to see mostly drop back from Tennessee, where they have a tall quarterback standing back there and trying to find a receiver. The Razorbacks are going to use more play action, roll out, counter fakes, go back the other way, and try to find an open receiver. It puts a lot of pressure that way on the secondary. They have to react one way. The ball could go back the other, just as you saw the touchdown there.
Joe Ferguson on the sidelines. Here's Laderette's kick. It's going to be taken about 4 yards deep and returned by Tennessee out to the 10-yard line. And Shannon Sidney down on the kick coverage for Arkansas to make the stop.
I would say that was an ill-advised return right there. That puts even more pressure on the Tennessee offense. Boy, 4 plays, 65 yards. That didn't take long. We might have a shootout in the making here.
53-yard touchdown reception. Lucas's longest reception prior to that TD reception, 41 yards. A catch against Vanderbilt. Arkansas jumping around a little on defense. Peyton Manning hands to Graham, and Graham is going to be hit by Stephen Conley and drug forward for about a gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Arkansas, just prior to this Tennessee possession, 137 yards total offense. Tennessee was 78.
I think Tennessee's going to have to open it up a little bit. As far as this play, it's just a lead back. This play is caught from the backside, and that's a play you don't allow somebody that he's not allotted for the block. So if you got good speed, you can run it down from the backside. That's what happens.
Peyton Manning looking to the sideline, has his man out there, and a good gain down the sideline. That is Greg Kyler. He's a freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland.
He's a freshman. This is just a little play action pass, quicks. They call it slip screen. Linemen get out in front. Once the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage, you can block downfield. And that's just a well-executed play, and Arkansas defense reacted. But as you see, Tennessee is going to open it up a little bit. This is their 4-wide set. And what this does, as you can see, when you go 4 wides, you have to make a choice. Are you going to go out and cover the guys? Are you going to walk your linebacker out to guard against the quick slant? If you do that, it creates running lanes. And that's basically what Tennessee does with their offensive formations.
And what a running lane. Watch this open up. I mean, nobody's at home. Running room for Jay Graham. Graham came into the ball game 3rd leading rusher in the conference, just behind Madre Hill of Arkansas. Manning changing the play at the line of scrimmage now. Quick out that is diagnosed by Vincent Bradford. Gain of about 1, I think.
Was that play blown dead? If not, that was a different kind of catch by Joey Kent there.
I don't think it was blown dead. Manning looked like he changed the play at the line of scrimmage and went on a very quick snap.
That was different. Chuck that one up to the crowd. Maybe they had a little something to do with that. Crowd noise.
2nd and 9 at the 41. Manning looking over the middle, throws and dropped. Nunnerly was there defensively for Arkansas along with Del Delco. And
that by Nash, wasn't it? That was just a drop ball. Good drop. Nice throw. Right in the hands. And just Marcus Nash couldn't hold on. Big 3rd down play here.
3rd and 9. Again, Manning changing the call at the line of scrimmage.
We've got a holding penalty.
Yep, the pass was complete into Arkansas territory, about the 48. But a flag is down, and we're going to have a penalty. Before we check on that, let's go down to the Tennessee sidelines and Mike G. All right, sorry, Mike. Apparently, we've got a little trouble with your microphone. We'll try to get back to you in a moment. The officials still conferring at the line of scrimmage, but you have to suspect a holding call in there.
Tripping.
Mike, did they
on the offense? 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul to take the down.
I mean, they didn't give us a set of those.
And I think he's going to send those up for you to wear in the second half.
Okay.
Clipping penalty.
Wow.
Called against Tennessee.
That must be one of those illegal. If you're engaged with somebody, you can't go and chop them.
Don't often see that behind the line of scrimmage.
All right.
3rd down now, Tennessee. Peyton Manning did not throw that ball very well. Del Delco came up with the interception for Arkansas. That is his 2nd interception of the year, and well, that one just kind of got up in the air and looked like a knuckleball.
In the profession, that's called a duck. But I tell you, this one didn't come out of his hand. I think when he pump faked right there, I think he might have lost that ball a little bit, but that was not a good pass. And you know, people say, well, it's just as good as a punt, but I have a little different philosophy on that. Punts can be fumbled. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen when you actually punt the ball. So in this situation, I just chalk it up as a bad play.
Money to Madre Hill straight ahead on 1st down, gain of about 4 yards out to the 46 of Arkansas. Razorbacks lead at 14-7 with 1 minute and 12 seconds and counting here in the 1st quarter.
You know, I think that last series is something that we could probably earmark, because Arkansas took the ball and went down and scored. Tennessee did not react to the score at that particular point. And let's see how it transpires for the rest of this game, because, you know, you have to react to something when you get a big play.
Play action Option fake. Money downfield for J.J. Letters. And a flag down. It's going to be interference against Tennessee. And if Tennessee questions it, it would be, could he have caught the ball? But no, there was no question that Metters, just as he made his turn to the outside, was bumped from behind.
And if you'll see I think that's...
right here it comes.
Yep, he tries to block. He thinks he's catching the ball, and if he just looks for the ball is nowhere to be caught. But that is definitely a penalty, and hey, that's just not very smart. That's Corey Gaines. Had his head down and just went and blocked.
Pass interference.
Potential receiver.
On the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Automatic first down.
That's a big play.
They mark it off from the line of scrimmage, of course. That'll move it inside the Tennessee 40 to the 39-yard line with 43 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
I don't think the coaching staff appreciates that play, too. I noticed Mr. King is not in the game. They kind of had a little talk, a little chat with him over there.
Probably told him he needed to get a drink of water. Andre Hill behind the left side of that Arkansas offensive line.
Little flag down. Could that be face mask?
Good surge on the left side by the Arkansas offensive line, and Andre Hill just fell in behind him.
Personal foul.
Personal foul, face mask, penalty on the defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the line.
Making mistake after mistake.
Big time. Let's see. You see the face mask in there, and they just hold on to it and pull him down, and that's why it was an intentional face mask call. Arkansas now just inside the 20-yard line. First down.
Now that play's made by Craig King. He's a veteran guy. He knows better. This is a big play. Oh,
Arkansas in the reverse to Metters. He dropped the football, picked it up, and trying to make something out of it now, and he'll just step out of bounds.
Tell you what,
on the near sideline.
If he doesn't drop it, it's a touchdown. There was nobody over there. That was a well-executed play, a well-called play, but it wasn't executed properly. But if we get a replay on this one, I'll tell you.
Let's try to check in with Mike Keith down on the Tennessee sideline again. Mike?
Condors, you're absolutely right. I'm standing right down here. That's a touchdown if it doesn't happen. On the Tennessee sideline, the talk is get your poise. Offensively and defensively, Tennessee has totally lost it, and the coaches are really trying to reel this team back in. Mike?
All right, Mike Keith, thanks very much. Glad we got that microphone problem straightened out. Lunny drops back, looks to the sideline, finds Metters. Not a big gainer, about 5 or 6. Down to the 26-yard line. And that's the end of the first quarter. Time has expired here in the opening quarter at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, where a sellout crowd of nearly 52,000 on hand for this ball game this afternoon. And we will tell you it was 52,728. Fourth largest Razorback Stadium crowd ever, and the largest ever to see an SEC game in Fayetteville. It was a big-time college football atmosphere around Fayetteville all week, Condridge. That's been missing from this campus and from this community for the last 2 or 3 years. Arkansas, after losing the season opener to SMU by a single point, has reeled off 4 straight victories, including a win over Alabama, and it has the community and the students really fired up again. And the fact that Arkansas has moved into the top 20 at number 18, Tennessee, of course, with its great program, ranked at number 10. And I think the fans just anticipated a great college football game here. Let's check down on the Arkansas sideline now with Joe Ferguson. Joe?
Tennessee, one of the best coached, best organized football teams in the country this year. They've been the least penalized teams in the SEC this year. Penalties have been a big factor for them today. If it continues that way, Arkansas is going to have to take advantage of this, and just lost it here on the fumble with the reverse, but the penalties are going to be a key factor today.
Good point, Joe Ferguson. Right, Arkansas. Third down now and about 15 for a first down, maybe 16 yards for the first down. 4 wide receivers. Money, who drops straight back, dumps it off to Madre Hill. Hill to the 20 and down to the 19-yard line before he is stopped. And now we're going to see Todd Latourette come on for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
How big is Todd? He looks like a pretty good-sized youngster.
Latourette is a good-sized youngster. He is
6'3", 205.
Yeah, 6'3", 205.
Wow.
And again, he has good bloodlines. His uncle Chuck Latourette was a great college football player, kicked for the St. Louis Cardinals. Ball will be down at the 26. A 36-yard field goal attempt is on the way, and it is good. The Arkansas Razorbacks, after falling behind 7-0, have answered with 17 straight. And Arkansas leads at 17-7 with 14 minutes and 17 seconds to play here in the first half of the football game. We talk, and we're talking about the college atmosphere and the game week atmosphere around the University of Arkansas. I don't know if it was the same at the University of Tennessee. You know, there's been some talk maybe in years past, because Arkansas's program was down, it afforded Tennessee the luxury of maybe looking past Arkansas to its next game with Alabama, which is really, it's a big rivalry as far as teams in the Western Division and in the SEC are concerned. But I don't think, Condridge, they were allowed that opportunity this week, do you?
No, they weren't. In fact, after last week's game, the focus was started on Arkansas then, because they knew that they were entering a strip where they were playing 3 SEC teams back-to-back. And whenever you play in the SEC, no matter who it is, you better strap it on, because you're going to have a battle. And they are in a dogfight today.
Latourette will kick it off against the wind this time, and kicks it high and short. Headed to the sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds. And Tennessee is going to get great field position to begin this offensive possession. That is Philip Fulmer on the Tennessee sideline, is it not?
No, that's the assistant coach. That's not Philip.
Okay.
That happens all the time, though. Philip, that's okay. I tell you, that happens all the time in Knoxville, even. So that's very understandable. That's Mark Bradley, assistant coach.
There are similarities.
Definitely.
Peyton Manning hands off, and straight ahead is Chester Ford, the junior out of Danville, Kentucky, and good yardage for Ford. And some good power running right there out to about the 41-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. It'll be second down and 4. Last Arkansas scoring drive, 6 plays, 38 yards, 2 minutes and 8 seconds. The 36-yard Todd Latourette field goal, adding Arkansas's lead to 17-7. To Graham. Hit behind the line by nose guard Junior Soley. Defensive end Stephen Conley coming over to help out, but Soley just whipped his man at the line of scrimmage and was right there to meet him in the backfield. A loss, actually, on the play of about 2 yards.
There was almost 3 Arkansas linemen in the backfield that time. There was a miscue somewhere. Take a look. The line of scrimmage is all red. That's 4. 4 Arkansas defenders in the backfield. Big play.
Out of the shotgun. Movement on the left side of the line for Tennessee. That is Jason Lehman, who stood up a little bit early. It's going to cost Tennessee 5 more and make it 3rd and about 11.
You know what Joe mentioned earlier is very
on the offensive
true.
line.
Penalties are very uncharacteristic of this team. They're especially on offense.
Manning again in the shotgun formation. Arkansas coming. The pass is complete. Little slant pattern. Manning got rid of it in a hurry and out across the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
Marcus Nash. It's just a little slant pattern from the split formation, 5 wide. And when Tennessee does that, like we talked about the whole time, you have to make a choice. You walk out the cover, they'll probably run the ball on you, and if you don't, they'll 36.
Great effort by Nash going over the middle on that slant. They had to reach out and grab the pass. Good hands. There's a little out pattern, this time to Kent. It's a gain of about 7. Inside Arkansas territory to the 45-yard line, where it'll be a gain of 8. 2nd and 2.
I think this is just a look at the little out pattern by Joey Kent, and once again is with a 4-wide situation. And I think Tennessee has made up their mind that might be their best bet today.
Graham trying to get outside, does get on the corner and turn it upfield, and gets the first down for Tennessee. Across the 40 and down to about the 37-yard line of Arkansas. Tennessee will have it 1st and 10.
It's just a lead play. It's a lead play with options to go inside or outside. And basically what Jay Graham does is follows fullback. If he ends up outside, that's where you'll see Jay Graham.
And knew where that first down marker was, too.
Yes, he did.
Turned it upfield.
He's got a holding penalty. I think they called it on Jeff Smith, number 74.
Graham down to about the 26-yard line, but let's wait and see what the call is.
That's a okay. Jay Graham, 7 carries for 38 yards. Rushing is going to be tough today. The Arkansas defense is pretty fired up as far as the rush is concerned, and that's why you have to use your formations and spread them out.
Jay Graham with those 38 yards has gone over 1,000 for his career at Tennessee. Trying to get outside and stepping out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
When's the last time you've seen that play? That's a tight end reverse. Tell you, the guy,
first time I've seen it in a long time.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Moore is one of those projects. He's a guy that is a defensive tackle. He's on the defensive side of the ball, and they just see once they had a broken leg with David Horn. There's just a little reverse with the tight end. After David Horn broke his ankle, they moved him over, and he's worked out fairly well.
Dustin Moore, 6'3", 226, a freshman. 2nd down. About 11. Quick out pattern that was just over the outstretched arms of Marcus Nash. Got his fingertips on it, just couldn't pull it in. Tough pass. So it'll be 3rd down. Well, let's see what Jolie Dunn decides to do with this Arkansas defense in this situation.
4 wides. They decide to stay in. They're not walking out. So they're banking they can get to the quarterback. And it didn't happen.
Manning drops and throws a strike to Kent. Down to about the 25-yard line. 1st down, Tennessee.
That's the option you make. I mean, you make one or the other choice, and you have to play it. You can't do the same thing all the time, but you have to make a choice, and that's one of the things about the 4-wide offense. If you look right here, it's just a drop, and if you're going to come and get the quarterback, you have to get him because it's one-on-one coverage with 4 guys spread wide. And the results there was a completion by Peyton Manning to Joey Kent.
We'll pull him down. Soley's helmet is somewhere out on the field.
Fisher's got it.
Let's watch this now. There.
Just a little. This is pressure, pressure, pressure. That'll do it to you every time. And when Peyton Manning has to do this, he's out of his element. That's not something. His dad was great at that, but that's one thing that Peyton is not real abreast at right now, is running the football, but he can throw it.
Well, the fact that he lost his helmet didn't slow Soley down at all. Straight drop by Manning. It's downfield, and somebody was confused on the coverage on the far side, or where the receivers were confused on exactly where that pattern was going. Let's check with Joe Ferguson down on the sidelines again. Joe?
Well, Peyton Manning is doing a real good job of reading the Arkansas blitz. It's going to put a little more pressure on Joe Lee Dunn to decide whether to keep blitzing or drop back and try to cover. With a lead like we have, we may try to cover.
Joe's absolutely right. Peyton Manning's 9 for 16 with 1 interception for 123 yards. Not bad.
Straight drop.
That's a touchdown. Wow.
He hit Ken in stride, cutting across the middle.
I tell you what, if you'll take a look at what happens to Peyton Manning after this, it pays to be 6'5" and about 218. He took a shot. This is just a straight drop back pass, and kabam, right there, right in. Joey Kent catches it in stride, as you said, and you know, the rest is, there's a touchdown.
He had the angle and outraced the Arkansas defenders to the end zone. Point after attempt by Jeff Hall is good. And Tennessee has cut Arkansas's lead to 17-14 now with 9 minutes and 58 seconds to play here in the first half of this football game.
Just a pass right in stride, as you said. Joey Kent on a crossing pattern. And if you catch it going away, that's the results right there. Now the little chess game turns around now. Now it's back on the Arkansas offense.
Good drive by Tennessee. 4 minutes and 19 seconds on the clock. 65 yards, 11 plays. Yeah, it's really fun watching these two quarterbacks. Manning, just a sophomore. Barry Lunney, a senior. But both Condridge, and you can appreciate this being a former quarterback, both very cool customers back there under pressure, and neither one seems to panic in situations where others might.
Yes, Barry Lunney, as far as being outside of the pocket, is making some great decisions on the run. Peyton Manning, on the other hand, is reading the defenses and reading the blitzes, and just making the proper throws. Speaking of the kicking game, a big play right here would be kicking one out of the end zone to not allow a big run back. But the onus is back on the Arkansas offense now to answer that touchdown. And this is shaping up to be just a great one.
Andre Hill and Marius Johnson are back. Marius Johnson comes up, fields it at the 9. Johnson started up the middle, cuts it outside, and returns it out to about the 34-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines and Mike Keith. Mike,
Tennessee's got a problem in the secondary. Strong safety Ray Austin hurt his knee on the touchdown pass to Madre Hill earlier in the first quarter. He went back in, tried to play. He's been spending time on the bench with a lot of ice on that knee. If he's back in the game right now, he's hurting, and they may take advantage. Otherwise, he's out of the game, and Tennessee is really short of people at strong safety.
All right, Mike, you didn't have to take those glasses off just because Condridge said something about them.
I wanted them.
I kind of like those glasses. Running now, 1st and 10. A little quick out pattern to J.J. Metters, and Metters is going to be swarmed under at about the 40. Flag down. Let's see what the call is. The official coming over, could be the second face mask penalty.
Personal foul, face mask, 15-yard penalty on the defense. First down.
Just a little play action fake, and if you'll see, Barry Lunney goes back to the short side of the field. Nice little shifty feet, and there it is right there. Little, wasn't of the intentional sort, it was just still face masking.
Puts the ball inside. Tennessee territory at about the 46-yard line. First down. Lunny to Marius Johnson, and Johnson with his first carry of the day gets it across the 45 down to about the 44-yard line.
I think both teams have kind of established the fact that they're going to run just enough to keep you honest, but when they want to move the ball, they're going to put it in the air. I think both teams have kind of established that.
Keep that defense guessing, doesn't it?
Here they come.
Look out to J.J. Metters, and he's bulldogged at the 40-yard line. He is 3 yards shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for Arkansas.
This is an all-out blitz by Tennessee, and Barry, I tell you, that's a good heads-up play, because when they're all-out blitzing, you don't have enough people to block them. You've got to get to your first available receiver, and Barry Lunny did that and turned it into a positive play.
Johnson turns the corner, gets it across the 35 up to the 32-yard line. First down, Arkansas, as the Razorbacks give Tennessee a little option look at the line of scrimmage.
This is just a little short side option. This time Barry Lunny challenges the end and doesn't allow him to force him to pitch and make the play. So yes, that's an eager running back wanting to make some more yardage. That was a good play, though. Got a first down, and now you got started over again. Ooh, now I'm not sure, but I don't think there's a play where guards pull at each other. That had to be a busted play.
Yeah, somebody made a mistake there. Tennessee player is down. A little counter the other way, and let's take a look at this. You called it, Condrich.
We have a, well, 1 against 2. That's a busted play. It was supposed to be a sweep to the left, and your left guard pulled right. That'll cut that play in half each time. Can't do that.
See if we can see who the injured player is for Tennessee. Trainers are out tending to him. Mike Keith, what can you tell us from down there on the sideline?
Steve White got the wind knocked out of him. He's up and encouraging his teammates as he comes off the field. I think he'll probably be out a play or two and then be right back in there, guys.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. 7 minutes, 28 seconds to play. First half. 17-14. Arkansas leading Tennessee. Second down, 11 for Barry Lunny and the Razorbacks. Little delay to Madre Hill. Straight ahead. Good job on the Arkansas offensive line. They opened a hole there, and Hill hit it pretty quickly after he got that handoff. Let's take a look at it again.
This is just a little trap play, delayed trap inside with the cross blocking, and Madre Hill picks his holes well there. That's good, strong running.
Good block. That was Russ Brown leading the way for Madre Hill. Barry Lunny stumbles, pulling back from the center.
That's a matter of, you get your foot stepped on sometimes if you don't lead out with the proper foot, or if your lineman takes a false, if he takes a false start, has a tendency to step on your foot. Oh.
Lunny just caught that right foot under a lineman's big foot. Not what you want to do, and now Arkansas takes a timeout with 6 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the first half. Mike Nail along with Conridge Holloway, very glad you could join us for this Southeastern Conference and top 20 matchup between 18th ranked Arkansas and number 10 Tennessee. From Fayetteville, Arkansas this afternoon, where there's not a cloud in the sky, and you can see the Boston Mountains and the Ozark National Forest for miles and miles from high atop this press box at Razorback Stadium. 52,000 plus here. Arkansas has really created some new excitement this year, Condridge. You and I were talking before the game. More Arkansas football players stayed in Fayetteville over the summer than at any time I can remember in a long, long time, dedicated to turning its fortunes around. And certainly the work they put in during the summertime has paid off for this team early on in the season.
Yes, it has. And Danny Ford has come from a coaching background to where he puts a lot of the onus on the players. He works on their psyche as far as their pride and what they want to do after they finish playing here. And he kind of leaves it up to them. And then when they do come through, he lets them know how much he appreciates it, but he gives them every opportunity to succeed.
Barry Lunney has completed 5 in a row. 4th down here. Arkansas will go. Lunney looking downfield. Has a man. Lucas! What great concentration for the freshman.
Just great concentration here. If you'll take a look at this pass, it's thrown right, tipped by Torrey Noel, and just great concentration. You can't. That's concentration on the ball.
And tell me how many freshmen are going to do that for you.
For a freshman, that's an exceptional play.
Todd Latterette to attempt the point after. Ball is down, and kick is good. Arkansas leads it by 10 again, 24-14. Lunney has completed 6 in a row now. Let's take a look at it again.
Just a little straight drop back passer running an underneath route and a corner route. Lunney steps up into the pocket, releases the ball. Looks like it's going to be knocked down, and it's tipped. And boy, that's just, it's hard to believe that's a freshman.
Lunney with his 3rd touchdown pass to the ball game. That ties his career high for touchdowns in a single game. He has thrown 2 to Lucas and 1 to Mondre Hill here this afternoon, and they're calling the Hogs in Fayetteville. One of the corners of the east side stands is all orange and white, and it's pretty quiet right now.
That's true.
Those Tennessee fans, believe me, those 7,000 fans can make their share of noise. Monteret's kick is going to be taken and dropped at the 10, picked up and returned across the 20 out to the 25 and now to the 26-yard line, and that is a remarkable return after dropping that punt on the ground. Let's go down to Mike Keith on the Tennessee sideline. Mike?
Mike, if you're wondering why Tennessee's Peyton Manning is throwing so much to Joey Kent, he's the only 4th-year man in the wide receiver corps. Tennessee has 6 guys playing that are in their 2nd year or less, and Coach Pat Washington, the Tennessee receiver coach, was imploring those youngsters, make your reads and concentrate. Otherwise, they're going to start keying on Kent totally.
Manning. Little play action fake, throws it downfield, and a great catch out there at about the 46-yard line.
Marcus Nash just made, that was a little out and up pattern. And you're talking about throwing under duress. That was a good throw by Peyton Manning, and that's one of those 2nd-year guys. That's
Manning before that pass was 10 of 17 for 152 yards and an interception, 2 touchdowns, and that's the 2nd time today we've seen Nash just with great concentration and go get the football.
That's right. He's a big frame too. This is a little slip screen again. He stays outside. He's got to play. Whoop. That's a who was that?
Coming from behind for Arkansas. Good defensive play over there by Anthony Hicks.
Anthony Hicks made a touchdown-saving tackle right there, and he ran that play down all the way from inside. That's a lot of hustle. He'll get a big star for that play.
Plenty of yardage, though, for first down. Tennessee with the ball, just nosed inside the 40-yard line of Arkansas. Razorbacks show blitz. Here they come. Manning just raises up, fires it out on the left side, and very close to another first down. Staley was the receiver. Manning read the blitz, saw it, just raised up and popped it out there.
Hey, that's when it's one-on-one. You have to be able to read that, and you go to your easiest receiver, which usually is your short side receiver with no linebackers underneath. You just throw the hitch pattern, and then it's one-on-one. When you get in situations like that, one missed tackle can be a major play.
The good effort by Staley to get the first down. Ball's going to be spotted with the nose just inside the 30 in Arkansas territory. 5 minutes to play before halftime, and Tennessee trailing Arkansas by 10, 24-14.
That's a pretty good afternoon, let alone the first half.
Out of the eye. Manning throws it out to the right side and completes it. And again, good yardage for the first down. And the receiver was Al Wilson. Is that right?
That's right. That's just a little three-step hitch. Boy, Al Wilson makes a great play of breaking 2 tackles there, taking care of the football. And the balls are lined up again.
That was Price. I'm sorry, Peerless Price rather than Wilson. .4:19 to play. Manning gives it off to Graham. Graham straight ahead. And he is inside the 10 and down to very near the 5-yard line.
Well, those formations can make big holes. Did that look as big as to
that
you?
Was pretty big. Del Delco came up to make the stop.
Well, if you stop right here, look at the size of that hole. That was just a good cutback. And the running backs have options on that play. That's why they get the ball deep in the backfield, at least 7 yards deep, to make the option of either going. They can go from tackle to tackle. And usually when the defense pursues like the Arkansas defense does, the hold is on the backside of the center.
Just an inch or two short of a first down there. It'll be second down for Tennessee, and the ball spotted just outside the 6-yard line.
Two tight ends for Tennessee. No, just one tight end. Tight end left.
Touchdown, Tennessee.
That's just a little bootleg flood, and boy, that's pretty well executed play. Eric Lane,
junior out of East Orange, New Jersey.
That's one of the few times in the Tennessee offense where the fullback does not take you to the football. Fullback went right, tailback goes left. Eric Lane can be a forgotten man at times, and that's how the fullback can just sneak out in the flat on you.
Bradford with the pressure on Manning. Point after is up, and it is good by Jeff Hall. And with 3 minutes 47 seconds to play before halftime, we've got a 3-point game. It's Arkansas 24, Tennessee 21.
It's just a naked boot with the fullback coming to the flat. You have one-on-one fullback against linebacker and one missed tackle.
Not just linebacker, but an outstanding linebacker in Mark Smith. You see the playing drive, 6 plays, 73 yards, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Let's check in with Joe Ferguson down on the sideline. Joe?
Well, this game was billed all week as a high-scoring affair, and we're not being disappointed there. I'm seeing both defenses a little bit frustrated. The defensive coaches on the sideline have got to be scratching their heads saying, what kind of adjustments can I make to stop this other football team? It's going to be who has the football last if it proceeds this way.
Thank you, Joe Ferguson. And Tennessee gets set to kick it off to Arkansas. Corey Nichols back for the Razorbacks along with Marius Johnson. 3:47 before halftime. Manning now 15 of 22, 216 yards, an interception, and 3 touchdowns. Here's Nichols. Starts up the middle, cuts it outside, back inside now. And he is really hit hard as he crosses the 30-yard line. And Arkansas will take over good field position out at about the 32-yard line after a good kick return.
I think that hit was by Dustin Moore.
Let's take a look again.
Is that number 86 right here? Not right there. This lick coming right here.
Right here.
Boom. That's Dustin Moore.
I believe it was
our
Dustin
tight end.
Moore.
Guess you have to earn your wares when you're a freshman. You have to be on the special teams.
Barry Lonnie has 4 wide receivers. Drops straight back, fires to the sideline. J.J. Metters is there, and the senior from Ruston, Louisiana, ducks it out of bounds. Stops the clock with 3 minutes 31 seconds to go. Each quarterback here has thrown 3 touchdowns in the first half. Manning has thrown for 216 yards. Lonnie for 180 yards beginning this drive. Second down and 3 for Arkansas.
Every time you get that flag in there, that's a safe bet.
Lonnie left it for Madre Hill.
Just a short side option to end, make the pitch. Good blocking downfield.
Yeah, it looked like
play.
Like the Arkansas tackle, maybe the guard. A little holding in there. Philip Fulmer in his 4th year.
Penalty is 10 yards
University
from the
of
spot of the
Tennessee.
foul. Repeat, second down.
25-7-1 since taking over the volunteer program. They mark it off against Arkansas. It'll make it second down at about 13. And there's Danny Ford trying to turn this program around at the University of Arkansas. A little concerned right now. Lunny over the middle. Eubanks trying to get outside. He is going to be brought down right at the 40-yard line. And getting up slowly for Tennessee, but getting up is Scott Gallion.
Scott Gallion.
Lunny has completed 8 passes in a row now. Clock showing 2 minutes 35 seconds to play first half.
This could be a big play right here.
Third down and about 3. Lonnie straight drop, and he is going to be sacked. And coming through there first was Ron Green, the right defensive tackle from Severna Park, Maryland, 6'1", 265, freshman player. White was also there.
Tennessee takes that timeout, considering that the way they move the football. That's a pretty good timeout to use.
Matt Waite will have to punt into the wind as well for Arkansas.
Ron Green got a nice, clean little arm over there and got through, forcing a lot of pressure. The one thing that Barry Lunny did as a senior, instead of trying to make a big play, they're 3 points up. He didn't. He just took the sack. They're going to punt the ball away, and things can happen. Instead of trying to force one in there and maybe getting an interception. And, when you're under control as a quarterback, that's the things you have to do. You just don't put your team in a bad situation. Take advantage of every opportunity, and that's what he did right there.
That Waite has averaged right at 40 yards a kick this year for Arkansas. He will be standing at about his own 21-yard line when he gets the kick away. Back for Tennessee is Sean Summers. Good snap. Gets the kick away. Wobble Soley kick off the side of his foot, but it gets an Arkansas bounce, rolls inside the 25, and is going to roll dead at the 22-yard line, and a big break for Arkansas.
Big break. That's why it's a coach's nightmare. They want you to get up there and catch that football. Don't let it hit the ground. But Sean Summers didn't have a chance to catch that one. It was kicked off the side of the foot and pretty low. So,
well, in the first place, it looked like it was going to go out of bounds, at least from our angle.
Right. Off
the side of his foot, finally kind of a funny-looking kick, but it hit inbounds and rolled in Arkansas's favor. So now Tennessee, with 1:54 to go before halftime, takes over at its own 22. Graham's going to get about 9 and maybe 10 out to about the 32-yard line.
Now's a good time to see how the young quarterback Peyton Manning handles the clock. Clock management is something that's very important. Here's just a draw play. You line up in 4 wides and run the draw play. Jay Graham does a good job of getting outside and heading for the first down marker, and actually got out of bounds. So that was first. Well, I don't think he made the first down. He's inches short, but he did get out of bounds.
Stop the clock. Let's go down to Mike Keith on the Tennessee sideline. And Mike getting close to halftime here, 24-21. And think ahead a little bit for us.
Well, I think Philip Fulmer is going to talk to his team about maintaining their poise, realizing they're right in this ball game. They played awful in the first quarter, and they've come back in the second quarter to get right back in it and establish themselves well. The other thing going on here, Tennessee in the 2-minute drive, they are very, very good at it, work on it every day in practice. This is where Peyton Manning's at his best.
Thank you, Mike Keith. Hand off to Graham, and Graham's going to push his way ahead to about the 36-yard line. So a gain of about 4 on the play.
Now this is when it starts. Let's see, 141.
That is a first down for Tennessee. Clock stops while they move the chains. Now they start it. Manning
got that play off for 3 seconds.
Looks to the sideline, and that's Mr. Kent again. Joe Ferguson on the Arkansas sideline. And Joe, what's Danny Ford going to be talking to his team about at halftime?
I think Danny's going to be happy with his offense. His defense is a little bit on the frustrated side. They may make some adjustments at halftime. That'll be up to Joe Lee Dunn. Coach Ford doesn't get involved in that a whole lot right now. I think Rocky Felker, the offensive coordinator, is going to say, let's keep doing what we've been doing and don't have any more penalties.
Second down and about 4 for Tennessee. And straight back and almost intercepted. It was in and out of the hands of an Arkansas defender back there. That was Tracy Cantlope that had his hands on it, but one of his mates was back there and tripped him up. Let's watch and see.
Joey Kent was running a curl and he stopped. He didn't keep going, and he stopped and played back to the outside. Peyton Manning throws it where he thought he was going, and that could have been a big turnaround.
Like the linebacker dropping off in coverage just came up and bumped him. There's a pass complete and down to about the 35-yard line and inside the 35-yard line.
That's a big play, courageous play.
Marcus Nash.
You're talking about running up the seam where you know you're going to be led with a football and there's a possibility of a major collision. There's a freshman, no, it's a sophomore, Marcus Nash, making a great catch.
Right into your living room with that one. There's Graham. Here's slip screen again, and Graham stays on his feet before finally being pushed out of bounds. Junior Soley over there for Arkansas along with Del Delco, but he might have picked up and did pick up another first down for Tennessee. So with 1:10 to play before halftime, let's watch the replay.
This is just a great individual effort right here. Take a look right here. This play should be stopped right there.
Nunnerly missed him. Another player missed him. Delco and Soley, the nose guard over there to make the stop. Graham again cuts it back and finds running room to the sideline. And this Razorback defense A step slow right now.
Just a little fold block up inside. Jay Graham picks the hole and just heads towards the end zone. That was good blocking up front.
Outstanding blocking by the Tennessee offensive lineman. Graham has carried now 12 times for 72 yards in the game.
Here they come. It's man coverage. That's a good play and a penalty. Boy, that's unfortunate because that was a great play, and now it's going to be nullified by a little over-aggressiveness.
I think Gino Bell came in and hit him late. Danny Ford not real pleased with that.
This is a quick screen that was played very well defensively. Good tackle one-on-one. And boy, whenever you lead with a head, they're going to call that. I mean, it's
be half the distance.
I say Danny Ford not too pleased with that. He's not too pleased with Gino Bell. It wasn't the call, but it was Bell coming in for the late hit that really upset the Arkansas head coach. And with 56 seconds now to play before halftime, Tennessee calls a timeout. The Arkansas defense will get a chance to regroup here as Ford cheers his troops on.
Well, they started with 141. It's now down to 56 seconds, and they've gone almost 70 yards. That's pretty good clock management.
South Carolina at last report leading Kent 77-7 with a minute 36 to play in the ball game. Mississippi up on Tulane at last word in the second quarter. Tennessee has been a good second quarter football team.
Scored a lot of points second quarter. Here's a formation set. Arkansas doesn't widen out with it. And that's a great play.
Vincent Bradford, the weak side linebacker. Flag on the play.
This is just a little flare route. And they're trying to get one-on-one coverage. And it actually is a little screen underneath with the lineman coming out in front. But the play was just diagnosed perfectly.
Procedure is going to be the call against Tennessee. South Carolina won its game 77-14, and Tulane leads Ole Miss 7-6 now in the second quarter.
Illegal formation. 6 people on the line of scrimmage on the offense. The penalties declined. Second down.
One of the young guys didn't get on the line.
Ball at the 11-yard line. 42 seconds to play before halftime.
Arkansas's coming at him again.
Pretty good first half for Peyton Manning.
Touchdown.
Manning throws it over the middle, and he's got his man, and he put it on target to Maurice Staley. I mean, he drilled it in there. Let's watch again, Conrad.
You can't teach this, folks. This is a rifle shot before coverage, because if that's thrown just an inch later, it's knocked down or intercepted.
And a good job really by Staley to react to the pass kind of behind him a little bit and make the adjustments to make the catch.
He reacted very well.
Kick is up and good with 21 seconds to play before halftime. Tennessee has its first lead since 7-0, I believe.
We've got a shootout here.
27-24. 28-24.
If you take a look, this ball is thrown to the back hip. And one reason for that is so you don't lead somebody head first into a linebacker. And believe it or not, they do practice that on goal line situations when you have to keep the ball low into the backside hip. You allow the receiver to catch the ball and not run head first in a free safety.
That is Staley's first touchdown of the year, too. and a big win for Tennessee. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. 10 plays, 78 yards, took a minute 33 off the clock, and there was only a minute 54, you'll remember, when Tennessee got it. So a great job of working the clock by the Volunteers and putting points on the board just before halftime.
Now this ball's being lined up on the side. Are they going to try to kick a little pooch kick or something?
Well, it's on the near side, and they may not want to kick it away to Arkansas. So
now that's what they want to do, is get the ball in somebody's hands that's not used to running it.
Yeah, and the short man there for Arkansas was Alex Harris, sophomore out of Hot Springs.
Alex almost called a fair catch. Did you see that? He almost put his head down.
15 seconds to play, and Arkansas will take over. Manning with a career high 4 touchdown passes in this ball game now.
And we're just at the half.
Barry Lunny, and we'll check on this, I think has tied the all-time touchdown passing record at the University of Arkansas. He has. That record held by Bill Montgomery and Quinn Grovey, I think at 29.
Lunny downs the football.
Lunny just takes a knee, and the first half is going to come to an end. Lunny has indeed tied the record of Bill Montgomery and Quinn Grovey with 29 career touchdown passes now. The two teams head for their respective locker rooms. After a good first half of football, I thought, Conridge, both teams kind of answered each other the entire time, and this is going to be some kind of second half, I think.
I think so, but I also think on both locker rooms, the defensive side of the ball is going to have a serious meeting, because both defenses have got to make some adjustments, because both offenses are just moving the ball up and down the field.
The University of Arkansas Razorback Marching Band takes to the field here. It is homecoming at Arkansas on this October Saturday afternoon. And Tennessee leads it by a score of 28-24. Very entertaining first half of football here at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, and we anticipate more in the second half of this football game. But these fans, I think, right now have really enjoyed this half of football.
I tell you, if they didn't enjoy that, there's something wrong. This is just a fantastic half of football. If you like watching it, I tell you, you saw a lot of scoring. You saw some big plays. You saw freshmen come out and make big plays for Arkansas, and you got a sophomore quarterback at Peyton Manning that's making all the right calls.
Well, one thing the two quarterbacks, I think, showed us in the first half, Conridge, was that you can't count either one of these teams out at any point.
You're right. They have the comeback capabilities, and just as we talked about before the end of the half, with a minute 50 or so seconds left, Tennessee's got the ball with 80 yards to go, and they actually score and have 12 seconds left. And for a sophomore to manage that kind of time, that shows he's been coached well.
We will check here and see just how many receivers Manning has thrown to through the first half of this ball game, but he uses everybody on the field that's eligible to catch passes.
He does. He's got a core of receivers. They've got about 5 or 6. He's even used his running backs today. And I tell you, Barry Lunny's done the same thing. He's just done it in a different style. He's doing it more moving out of the pocket, and when he's thrown to his receivers downfield, it's been more across the middle of the field, taking advantage of the linebacker play by Tennessee. They're not getting deep enough, and both quarterbacks have done an excellent job.
Lunny with 3 touchdown passes. Manning has thrown 4 touchdown passes in the game. Manning's thrown for 263 yards in the first 20 minutes. Lunny 198 yards. Graham has rushed for 72 yards. He got his 24 he needed to become a 1,000-yard career rusher at the University of Tennessee. Madre Hill, on the other hand, has been held to just 26 yards on the ground by that Tennessee defense.
Well, the one thing about that, too, is the passing game has just been so effective for Arkansas that they've gone to the passing game to move the football, and I think you'll see more of Madre Hill this second half, though.
All right, we are at halftime at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville. The Volunteers of Tennessee, ranked 10th in the country, leading the 18th-ranked Razorbacks of Arkansas by a score of 28-24, but an exciting 20 minutes of football yet to come. We're going to check in now on the Tennessee running game. Some great running backs at the University of Tennessee. The ground game. It's where college football games are won and lost. Dominate, and you're the victor. Fail, and it's back to the drawing board. It's on that board teams draw up the X's and O's that create the gaps running backs dream of. Making those dreams reality has been a big part of Tennessee's football tradition. But dreams don't win games. Running backs do. It's the talent and skill of the running back that makes the X's and O's come alive. Volunteer running backs have illustrated there are many weapons in a runner's arsenal, all of them lethal.
No question, speed.
Toughness. I think you have to be a visionary.
Good running back runs a little scared.
I mean, you just absolutely have to be fearless.
The Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. It's football time in Tennessee.
The 1986 Sugar Bowl remains as one of the biggest wins in Tennessee history. The underdog Volunteers dominated the Miami Hurricanes 35-7. And in a night of big plays, Jeff Powell turned in a magnificent run that sealed the victory.
Well, you know, most people say that was the nail in their coffin.
And so Tennessee will have it first down and 10 to go at the Volunteer 40-yard line.
As I can recall, the play was what we call 6 or 7 in the huddle, and frequently we would call 2 plays in the huddle. Really, it's 1 play, the same play to each side. And we would come up to the line of scrimmage, see what the defense gave us, and we would take it. So as I recall, they had 3 men on the left side and 4 on the right, so we went with 7, which is an off-tackle play off the left side. When the play, I couldn't hear Darryl. I couldn't hear the signals at all, but since we had practiced all year, I was used to his cadence, his head movement, and his style, and I could hear or really actually kind of feel when he said, "Hut."
Tennessee into an I formation, leading 21-7.
At that time, I saw George Maurer, who was their middle linebacker, blitz. And so I knew I would have to take the handoff a little wider than normal. So I stepped out a little wider and took it, and Darryl came to me and gave me the ball. As I recall in that play, Bruce Wilkerson, who was our left tackle, looped around Harry Galbraith, who was our right guard, and took out the, I think, Jerome Brown, who was their nose tackle. Harry crossed Bruce and took out their tackle. So that opened up a hole. And with the linebacker blitzing and the way that our guard and our tackle blocked in the hole, the hole opened up. I mean, the middle linebacker would have fielded that, but since he blitzed and gambled and missed me, then the hole was huge.
Miami in a 4-man front. Give Powell, right side 40, 45-50, gets outside 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 60 yards. Jeff Powell, touchdown, Big Island. Tennessee, 60 yards, big block, Bruce Wilkerson, 6'5", 258 junior, Philadelphia. Big hole, Powell just comes roaring down the greensward of the Superdome, and Tennessee leads Miami 27-7.
I mean, I just heard a roar. I mean, at the moment, that I broke free, I just heard a big roar. And it's not something really that you concentrate on, but you nevertheless you can hear it. I just wanted to get into that end zone, and I ran with all that I had to get there. And then once I scored, I can remember running so fast that I almost ran into the people in the back of the end zone. And I actually had to kind of shut it down and veer sharply to the right. And then I can remember my teammates just jumping all over me. It was a great feeling.
Powell contributed to Tennessee's SEC championship season in 1985, but never more than he did in that Sugar Bowl game. On the night, Jeff Powell gained 102 yards and will be remembered for the run that sealed the Sugar Bowl victory.
People say it was the greatest run in Tennessee history, and that's quite an honor.
To get your copy of the Best of the Big Orange, the Home Video Collectors Series, it is available across Tennessee. You can call 1-800-529-4500. 1-800-529-4500. And you certainly got excited when you saw that Jeff Powell run again.
I remember that play, and I was actually in Canada at the time, and Miami was known for having so many speed guys. And the fact that he was not even a starter and the way he just ran off and left those guys, I'm going, who is this guy? I mean, he wasn't one of their marquee players, but that was the year where they got Tony Robinson hurt, and Darrell Dickey came in, did a tremendous job at quarterback. And, boy, there were a lot of unsung heroes for that team that year.
We're at halftime. Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Tennessee leads Arkansas 28-24. And this time in years past, people were talking about Arkansas basketball, but this football team has them excited again, although basketball is just around the corner.
I like that feeling.
Unforgettable, unbelievable, uncontrollable. It was a season to remember. It was the battle to Seattle, and your Arkansas Razorbacks took it to the extreme. Now you can own the video that captures it all. From ARSN, it's the official 1994-95 Razorback highlight video. Heart-stopping Hogs, the battle to Seattle. You'll go onto the court and into the locker room for footage you won't see anywhere else. And the best part, you can have it all for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. From the opening seconds of Midnight Madness to Corliss's last game as a Razorback, you won't miss a beat. From blowouts to buzzer beaters, the Hogs did it all. You'll see behind-the-scenes footage of the Hogs' trip to Hawaii, where some of the players were caught making moves never seen before.
Name and where you from? Corliss Williamson from U of A. U of A,
Razorback fans, this is a must for your video collection. It's Heart-Stopping Hogs, the battle to Seattle. Order yours now by calling 1-800-237-6643. That's 1-800-237-6643. The cost is only $19.95 plus $5 shipping and handling. Or stop by Dillard's, Harvest Foods, or Hog Heaven and pick up your copy today. Heart-Stopping Hogs, the battle to Seattle. If you bleed Razorback red, you can't afford to miss this.
Back at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, where Tennessee at halftime leads Arkansas by a score of 28-24. It is homecoming weekend, as we mentioned, and we want to say, or recognize, of course, LaTanya Moore, who is the homecoming queen at the University of Arkansas in 1995. At her court, Jenny Williamson, Conchata Moore, Trina Gibson, and Heather Walker. And our congratulations to those young ladies honored here at halftime. A lot of celebrities on hand this weekend for this University of Arkansas homecoming game, and one of the biggest Razorback football fans in the country is a guy who is used to the spotlight, and that is none other than John Daly of the PGA Tour.
At the tender age of 28, John Daly has etched his name alongside golf's greatest. A PGA championship in '91, followed up by his second major title, the British Open Championship this summer. Despite his worldwide acclaim, Daly, a former University of Arkansas golfer, retains deep roots in Arkansas and stays as close to the overall athletic program as his golfing schedule permits.
You try and get from Binghamton, New York to Tuscaloosa, Alabama is impossible. And I felt great about us beating Alabama. I really thought we had a good chance, and we did. I missed that game, but I was watching it, and I just love them. I just love everything about the Hogs. I keep up with all the sports the Razorbacks do, and I think it's when you grow up in this state, you fall in love with the Razorbacks, and you know, I'm just a diehard fan, and I want to watch them as much as I can.
I know that you talked to the football team a couple of times before games, and I saw you talk to the squad after the South Carolina game, and it meant a great deal to them to have you down there giving your support.
Well, I don't know. It was great. Coach Ford, it was great that he gave me the opportunity to go in and talk to him. Yeah, I think mainly it's because I'm still somewhat of their age, and they can relate to me. I can relate to them, and you know, I don't know if what I did helped him or anything, but it made me feel good that Ford had wanted me to come in and talk to the guys, and so far it's worked out great.
John, one other thing, you are recognizable not only just by your appearance, but that head cover that you've got and the logo on your golf ball all over the world.
Oh, I love it. I carry them wherever I go. You know, it's just something that beautiful. I just felt, you know, Hogs are beautiful, and I love them.
John, we had a couple of questions about your first reaction when the guy made the putt where you found out you had to be in the playoff.
Almost started drinking again.
Big Bad John.
Not only is John Daly support this football team and the rest of the Razorback basketball team, but he's also supports the golf team here. He comes up in the off season and helps coach a little bit when he has time. Recently purchased a home in Northwest Arkansas. Loves this area. Hopefully someday maybe he'll retire here.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Good to see John Daly back on campus, of course, this weekend. He sees his Hogs trailing by 4 at halftime, 28-24. We're going to take time to hear from these two fine universities, the University of Arkansas and the University of Tennessee. Then we'll be back with a look at the first half stats and get ready for the second half kickoff.
Growing up in a small town in Tennessee, my parents dared me to dream big. They didn't make my choices. They just wanted me to be prepared to reach the top. Looking back, there were a lot of good colleges I could have attended, but I'm glad I chose the University of Tennessee. Sure, the academic standards are high, but more than that, at the University of Tennessee, reaching the top is not just a dream.
At the University of Arkansas, championship performance puts you in the spotlight. Being part of a team, knowing that success takes drive and the will to reach new heights, going to great lengths to reach even the highest goals, expecting a solid return on an investment of time and energy. UA students are winners. Join the A#1 team at the University of Arkansas.
Tennessee leading Arkansas 28-24. 10th ranked Tennessee, 18th ranked Arkansas as we get set for the second half of this football game from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Mike Neal along with Conrad Holloway, Mike Keith, and Joe Ferguson on the sideline. Glad you could join us for this afternoon's football game, and it has been a dandy through the first 20 minutes. 7 touchdown passes in the first half of this football game. Tennessee will kick it off to Arkansas, and we are underway. Marius Johnson a yard or so deep into the end zone, and he elects to take a knee, and Arkansas will have possession 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. Looky here. Who would have thought this? Rushing in the first half of the ball game. Tennessee 79 yards, Arkansas just 9. But look at those passing numbers and the total offense, 342 to 207. 1 turnover for Tennessee, none for Arkansas, and each team had the ball 15 minutes.
How about that? That's very unusual.
Here's Lunny. He's 11 of 13 for 180 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Mondre Hill gets the call on the first down, or the first play, and moves it out to the 25-yard line. Arkansas, I think, Conrad would like to use Mondre Hill a little more, and of course you have to be effective with him, but they'd like to use him a little more and keep the ball on the ground some here in the second half.
Well, they sure would, and that's their forte, is running the football and cutting the clock in half. And when they can score this many points and have a consistent running game, it gives the other team very limited time possessions.
Money down the line, turn it up inside across the 30 and out to about the 33 or 4-yard line. The ball rolls out of bounds. It's going to be a first down, Arkansas at the 34.
Now this is the first time that Lunny has run the option to the field. They usually run this play to the short side of the field, and Barry makes a great decision here. You know, you just keep it. Of course, better not take that hit like that. That's when you get back in there and pitch it back to the running back. Let them absorb that punishment, but that was a good play.
After the 32, 1st and 10 Arkansas. Lunny looking to the sideline for instruction. Just underway at the second half.
Here's that 2 tight end formation. Boy, it gives you trouble on defensive fronts. You've got that extra gap to cover.
Lunny to Mondre Hill, who slices his way out across the 35 to about the 36, maybe 37-yard line. Let's go down to the Arkansas sideline with Joe Ferguson. Joe?
Well, Danny told his guys, if you want respect in the SEC and across this country, you've got to step forward right now. Make tackles. We missed a lot of tackles early. Now they've got to rise to the occasion. That's what Danny told his football team.
One of the Arkansas players shaken just a bit coming off the field. Russ Brown was the injured player. Means Eddie Mosley goes in there. Lunny has him to the line of scrimmage now, 2nd down. That little screen out to the right side, and really nobody there.
Well,
it's one-on-one with Mondre Hill.
When you drop back, and the way Arkansas has been hurting the Tennessee defense, it's getting, if you see right here, Barry Lunny drops back. He's looking to throw the ball in the middle. The linebackers are getting back. When they cover the middle route, your flare pattern is always open. And I'm sure they were coached on it at halftime. They get back underneath that in route, the crossing route in the middle. When you do that, you give them the flare.
Little safety valve there. 8 straight pass completions now by Barry Lunny. Lunny's going to be chased from behind and sacked by Leonard Little.
Well, I tell you, this sack even though he didn't make it, it belongs to Steve White. Because what he did, if you take a look, if we get the replay here, he takes the running back. If you watch Mondre Hill, he runs out with Mondre Hill. They're trying to get the ball to him. There's no way, because Steve White's right there in front of him, and then Leonard Little comes and catches him from behind.
Little with his first sack of the day, 3.5 on the year now. Sophomore defensive end.
with 4.3 speed. Isn't that amazing?
Second to about 19. This is Madre Hill looking for a hole. Finds one. Gets it across the 40 and out to about the 45-yard line. And coming up for Tennessee is
this little X blocking up front. If you take a look, nice blocking inside. And Madre Hill just picks his hole. Nice quick feet there. Finishes off the run strong. Big play.
Third down. Lunny flushed out of the pocket, scrambling, and he's going to be sacked back there. And in there to cause all the havoc was Steve White again, and what a job he's done for Tennessee defensively here. And the Vols hold Arkansas on the Hogs' first possession here in the second half.
This is just a drop back pattern. They're looking for that crossing route again. People aren't open. And boy, wow, that's a shot.
Matt Waite kicks it off to Summers, who runs away from it, and the ball's going to roll dead at about the 23-yard line, where Tennessee will have its first offensive possession of the second half. Peyton Manning back on to lead this Tennessee offense. Volunteers lead at 28-24, 11-14 to play in the third quarter.
Be interesting to see how the Tennessee offense comes out after obviously discussing stuff at halftime, discussing their strategies. The 5 wides was successful, their 4 wides was successful, and it'll be interesting to see how they do.
Let's see if Mike Keith has any information on that down on the sideline. Well, we'll check in with Mike Keith here in just a few moments.
I'm sure Mike has a little insight as to what went on at halftime.
Arkansas is going to want to keep an eye on Joey Kent in the second half of this ball game.
Yeah, season high in receptions, 9 receptions for 131 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half.
Let's go down to Mike Keith and try again, see if he has any information on that halftime talk. Mike?
Mike, I think we do have some information. Tennessee really wanting to work the passing game in the second half. Manning's 263 yards put him 10th on the Tennessee all-time list. You know who he's after next? Condridge Holloway, who's ninth, just 400 yards ahead of him.
Well, there's a run up the middle. He's not going to pick up many yards that way, but as long as you can run it like Tennessee just did. Ford lost the handle and Tennessee recovered, but good yardage, about 8 yards, and one of the Arkansas defenders is down. That is Ryan Hale, the young redshirt freshman out of Rogers, 6'5", 278-pounder. And the Arkansas trainers have to see about him. You see Peyton Manning.
Well, Mike mentioned that record, but I tell you what, I think number 16, with 2 more years, if he stays at Tennessee, he's going to pass number 10 and the rest of the other 9 too. That does look like it looks like it was a fumble at the end. That ball was stripped out very well. Let's see about the legs. Are they down? No. That was a fumble.
Was a fumble and a heads-up play there. That was Chester Ford falling on the football for Tennessee. So a good alert play there by Ford to recover the fumble. And it's second down and 2 now for Tennessee. First man through is the fullback, that is Ford. And he's going to have a couple yards, very close to the first down.
Did he get a right foot or left foot spot?
Well, I think he got it.
I think he did too.
I think this is going to be about a first down by about 2 or 3 inches. Nose of the football just shy of the 34-yard line. Eyes are getting bad, Condridge. It's old age. First down, Tennessee. The Arkansas defenders trying to encourage the crowd to get into this one.
outside defenders jumps. Tennessee snaps it. Manning takes a knee, and the question is, did the Arkansas defender get back in time?
I don't know. I have mixed emotions about that play.
Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
That answered our question, and good heads-up play there by the center. Once he sees that guy across the line of scrimmage.
That's true. Once he snaps it, it's offside. Yep. But I still think if you're going to get a free play, why not block everybody and throw the ball? I mean, if you're going to take a free one.
Here's Graham trying to get outside, and does, out to about the 45-yard line. Vincent Bradford out there. He has been very active for Arkansas from that weak side linebacker spot today. But it's another first down for Tennessee with just over 10 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
That's an impressive drive so far coming out. They're still doing it with formation though. This is just a twin set, but they still have split receivers to the short side of the field. High backfield.
Manning wants to throw and throws underneath to Graham, and right there is Mark Smith, the Arkansas linebacker. No gain on the play. So it'll be second down and 10. Mark Smith, leading tackler on this Razorback team, coming into the ball game. 53 prior to today.
Got your 4 wides. Arkansas has elected to stay inside on it. This should be a completion.
And you called it to Marcus Nash out across the 50 and just into Arkansas territory at the 49.
It's just really tough when you don't walk the linebackers out there to get enough underneath coverage to defend this 5 wides and 4 wides. And as you can see on the replay, we'll catch it next time. Here it is. There's no underneath coverage, so you can run curl routes and in routes with nobody underneath, and it makes it just very pass and catch.
Third down, Manning over the middle. What a catch. What a catch out there by Maurice Staley.
What a throw.
Oh, my.
That was a dart.
We got to get another look at this. Now, watch this.
Kids, don't try this at home. There's 4 guys around this guy. 1, 2, 3. Well, 3 guys. And Peyton Manning threads the needle. That's a great throw, but coach will say great throw, but you threw in the coverage. That's the way that'll transpire next week.
And great concentration by Staley, too.
Yes.
He knew 3 guys were there.
Yes.
Graham's going to get nothing. Mark Smith comes up to make the hit. And they're going to give him about 1 up to the 35-yard line. So it'll be second and 9 with 7 minutes 54 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Tennessee's first offensive possession here of the second half. Vols lead it by 4, 28-24.
This could be interesting. They've run that play 3 or 4 different ways this game. They've sprinted towards it, they've sprinted away from it, they've run off a 3-step drop, and they've run off play action. And it's all a little slip screen. And if you ever get your lineman out in front of it, you've got a mismatch because linemen are blocking on defensive backs. Most of the time, linemen are going to win that one.
That pass was to Joey Kent. You'll pardon me if I call him Clark Kent.
He's playing like it.
I'm telling you. That's his 10th reception of the ball game.
2 tight ends.
Graham leaps forward and is going to get the first down yardage near the 25. Gino Bell makes a stop for Arkansas. First and 10, Tennessee. And Jay Graham has done an outstanding job for Tennessee this afternoon running the football.
4 wide formation again, and a little toss sweep. This is different for Tennessee. That's great defensive reaction right there because they were outflanked.
Gets close to 5. We're going to give it 4 yards. Mark Smith, the linebacker over there, along with Delco.
Mark Smith, if you watch him right there, middle linebacker, he makes up ground. Right now they're even, and he closes and makes the tackle. That's, well,
Delco got to him first, but Smith's presence allowed Delco to get that angle and get there. 2nd down and 6.
Oh.
Vincent Bradford was not touched, and he came blowing through for Arkansas, and Manning had to get rid of it.
That play's designed like that, though. The quarterback takes that guy. And the thing is, you just have to be an athlete and get the ball to the receiver, because what they're planning on is one guy rushing, the quarterback take him, and whoever's supposed to cover him won't cover him, and you have to get the ball to the receiver. So it's one of those acrobatic quarterback plays you have to make in this offense.
Jay Graham nearing the 100-yard mark. He has carried 17 times for 95 yards in the ballgame.
They're coming after him again. First down. I tell you, if you come, you got to get there. There's no underneath coverage. I know I keep saying that, but that's what's happening. And
Manning drops back, and the receiver is going to have a knee on the ground when he makes his catch.
Yes.
No question about it.
But the one thing that the young kid did do, was that Staley? That was Staley. He got past the first down marker.
Going to check one of the Arkansas players is down. The Arkansas trainer's out there again, and Jeff Muir is in the booth and doing a great job on statistics for us here this afternoon. And Jeff, I'm going to ask you if you would to do some research there quickly and tell me how many receivers Manning has employed here in this game this afternoon. Let's go down to the sideline. Joe Ferguson.
What we're seeing here is a vintage Tennessee drive. They're mixing the run, mixing the pass, and you're seeing an Arkansas defense staying on the field quite a bit because it's got to take its toll on them.
All right, Joe. Jeff Muir tells me that Manning has used 7 different receivers in the game this afternoon. That's a season low.
Well, we're still in the third quarter.
14-yard line, 1st and 10. Manning changes the play. Graham on the left side. Hit after a gain of about 3 and then twists and spins forward across the 10-yard line. And it's a gain of almost 5. It'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 6 yards to go.
Right. Now, that was a situation where by formation, Arkansas walked out and took a linebacker and walked him outside. Then they run right where he vacated. And it's just a matter of taking care of and recognizing situations and taking care of formation. Now, that's a great defensive play.
Handoff up the middle to Eric Lane, and the fullback gets nothing as Arkansas's defense reacts quickly. Graham now. Conridge has rushed 18 times for 100 yards in the ballgame.
You take a look at this play right here. It's just an area block play, but the Arkansas, well, there's a host of Arkansas defenders on that one.
Stephen Conley, I think, gets the takedown.
Man-to-man coverage. Touchdown. Nope.
Stepped out at about the 1-foot line.
Tell you, when you go man-to-man coverage and you run any kind of routes inside and somebody to the flat, it's illegal if you're blatant about it, but a pick is just hard to defend. And if you'll see right there, we have a guy running to the flat, which is Marcus, no, that's Nash, and everybody else runs inside. Well, even if you get in the way of the guy just a bit, he's got to run around you. So it's a legal pick. It's basically what they're running, and it's a pretty good play on the goal line.
Touchdown Tennessee. Over the top is Jay Graham, and that's the first rushing touchdown of this football game.
That's right. That is right.
The 8th of the day, but the first rushing touchdown of this football game. And it comes from Jay Graham. Graham's 5th touchdown of the year.
Tell you, Jay had the opportunity to watch a guy make that particular play. A lot of times, James Littleman Stewart, he's trying to perfect that dive over from 1 yard, and it's something they practice.
Jeff Hall's kick is perfect, and Tennessee leads Arkansas by 11. The Volunteers 35, Arkansas 24, 4 minutes 38 seconds to play here in the third quarter, and Tennessee marched it downfield on that first offensive possession with precision. Let's check the Tennessee sideline now with Mike Keith.
I'm over here with the Volunteers, and it is a totally different mood than it was in the first half. The Volunteers very confident. The offensive players over quickly to say to the defensive players, get them out 3 and out and get us the ball back. Tennessee thinks they can score it every time they get it now. They've certainly been showing that, Mike.
All right, Mike, thanks. Let's watch the touchdown once again.
This is just a
nothing
lead
fancy.
Play, nothing fancy, a lead play, and you get up and over. If you can create a stalemate and get up and over from the 1 yard line, the offensive team will win that battle 80, well, I'll go on the limb and say 95% of the time.
4 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the third quarter. And now Arkansas with its back against the wall, trailing by 11. Biggest lead of the day for Tennessee. Arkansas has led by as many as 10. And this kick is into the end zone and will not be returned. So the Arkansas offense will take over 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. And if you're Tennessee, that's exactly where you want Arkansas to begin.
Arkansas offense has got to do some things to get the fans back into this game. They've kind of lost them a little bit right here, and they can turn that around quickly with Barry Lunney orchestrating a good drive here.
Quinn set in the backfield. Handoff is to Madre Hill, and he is met at the line of scrimmage and is stopped for no gain. Arkansas wants desperately to establish something there. Razorbacks now with 23 rushing yards on 24 attempts.
Wow. Not an accounting major, but I know that's not good.
That's not good. Clock nearing 4 minutes now. Lunney straight back, dumps it off the Hill. Madre Hill out to about the 22 or 3 yard line. 23 yard line, I think they'll spot it. So a gain of 3 and another big third down play coming up for Arkansas. Lunney had no place to go, and again, you just dump it off to that safety valve and let him get what he can.
One thing Coach Johnny Chavis has done at halftime was tell those linebackers, get back and cover the in route, make them throw the flare. And they are really getting deep, and Barry Lunney is throwing what they're giving him, but they're coming up and making tackles.
Out of the shotgun, Lunney looks, being chased, dumps it off again. It is incomplete.
Ooh, that was
very
close to being a lateral, wasn't it?
Very close, but the officials right there on top of it, and those 7,000 Tennessee fans on the far side are making lots of noise right now.
Whoa, that's
just tried to run with it before he got it. That was Tyrone Henry, the fullback.
He throws it at about the, yeah, that's a forward pass.
And Tennessee should get great field position here. Matt Waite to punt against a slight breeze. Another wobbly kick that's going to hit. And let's see. Takes an Arkansas bounce inside the 45 to the 43. Arkansas picked it up and headed the other way. But the officials say, no, it didn't touch anybody.
It touched one of the Arkansas players earlier. But that was close because there were some Tennessee players blocking there, and that ball almost hit them. That's where your punt returner has got to give the signal for everybody to get out of the way when the ball's punted short like that. And that's usually by waving his hands across his body, but so your blockers that are coming down can see that the ball's punted short and they need to find it and get out of the way. Here it is right here. Well, Sean, he didn't do it well enough, but he was given the signal to get away from the football because it is short and it's bouncing around.
Here's Manning. Little play action. Dumps it out on the right side. Complete to the big tight end. That is Scott Pfeiffer, and I think that's the 8th receiver now on the day. Pfeiffer becomes the 8th, and Manning gets his average in terms of numbers of receivers. Well, before that pass, he had completed 27 of 36 for 307 yards and 4 touchdowns with 1 pick. Graham started outside. Cuts it back up inside, and a good effort by Graham to get it to the Arkansas 45, where it's going to be another Tennessee first down.
Nifty piece of running right there. That's for a guy that's known as a straight liner. That was pretty good, pretty shifty feet, and he changed his direction pretty well and got upfield.
He has changed directions a number of times today with success.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He's not known for that. That's something that's going to have to evolve in his running repertoire.
Corner came up, turned him inside, and Graham still got a couple yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Tennessee.
Can you see a change in the line of scrimmage now? It looks like the Tennessee offensive linemen are starting to get that edge on the push. I don't know if it's because the Arkansas defense has been on the field pretty much the last 2 series, but you can see a slight edge.
Manning again complete. Down to the 25-yard line. And that is to Peerless Price.
Peerless Price. This is just a naked bootleg, and what you're basically doing to the field is a high-low game, and you run a receiver short and a receiver on a corner. Whichever way the defense wants to defend, you go underneath or on top. So that was the key, is making a good enough fake to come out on the bootleg without a guard pulling.
First and 10, Tennessee. Just inside the Arkansas 35. And is to Graham, and Graham is going to get a couple before he is stopped out there by Anthony Hicks. Tennessee, the all-time record for touchdown passes in a game is 5, and the ball's
I'd say
just
that's
one
in
shy of that. That's very much in jeopardy, you would think.
Yes.
Minute 15 before halftime.
That's the hot read right there, and that's just a sophomore doing things that a senior does. And that's a very well executed play there by Peyton Manning.
Pfeiffer makes the catch, and Tennessee right now is,
when the linebacker blitzes, the tight end's open, and that's just basically what happened. And there's no way that a linebacker lined up inside over a guard can get out there to cover him. And so it's a chance you take on the defensive side of the ball. You hope the quarterback doesn't pick it up, and Peyton Manning did.
Peyton Manning has not done too much wrong here today. Pass thrown just behind the receiver, and Price could not recover and get to it.
I think I've seen them run that route before, and the receiver is a hitch, but you hitch to the outside, and that's why the quarterback throws it to an outside. It almost turns into a little out, except you don't ever take your eyes off the ball. You just hitch back to the outside. Gives the quarterback a better angle and less possibility of interception.
Tennessee has done a great job here in the second half, Condridge, of keeping that Arkansas defense off balance.
They sure have. Wow.
Manning again. Receiver just goes, turns it in at the 9-yard line, just a little curl pattern. And Manning puts it right on the money, and Tennessee's going to have a first down inside the 10. And
is that Andy McCullough?
Volunteers right now are wearing down the chain gang.
Well,
they've moved the chains a lot of times here in the second half. There's the replay.
Mike, would that make number 10?
That would make number 9, I believe.
Number 9, Andy McCullough's a new one.
Peyton Manning. What a day. Handoff is to Graham. Graham will be stopped for no gain. Let's go down to the sidelines and Mike Keith. Mike?
You know, it's hard to believe that an offensive lineman could have made a big difference to this offense in this spurt that Tennessee's had. But since the Vols have put Trey Teague in at left guard and moved Jason Lehman to left tackle, they can run left. There's no pressure coming from the left. The sophomore out of Jackson, Tennessee is making a big difference. That's Trey Teague.
All right, Mike, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville. And the Tennessee Volunteers take an 11-point lead into the final 15 minutes. And Tennessee with the football just inside the Arkansas 10. What a college football game this has been. And Peyton Manning is about as good as we've seen in this league in a long time. Let's go down to the sidelines. Joe Ferguson. Joe?
What you're seeing is two totally different defensive schemes here. Barry Lunney is getting the same exact look from the Tennessee defense every snap, which means he has to read on the drop, where Peyton Manning is seeing what he's going to get early in his cadence, and he can make a decision before the ball is snapped. Two different schemes where Peyton's reading the blitz, making the big adjustments. Barry's going to have to read in the drop and make a decision on the move.
All right, Joe Ferguson, thanks very much. And Conridge, I can't recall Peyton Manning making a wrong decision when he looks at that Arkansas defense.
He's made some great calls, and recognition is what he's done so early in the play. And what he's done too is gotten in and out of the huddle with time on the clock, where if he does see something, he can turn around and make sure everybody knows it. And I've been watching the play clock. He's always doing that with 10 or 12 seconds left, which gives him plenty of time to do that. If you get that clock down to 4 or 5 seconds, you can't make those changes.
And here's a sophomore who has total freedom to change the plays at the line of scrimmage. And
you got
make the
special.
calls.
You got something special when you do that. And we might have a roughing the passer. Wow, that's...
Anthony Hicks is back there. He and Peyton Manning are talking, but there is a flag down, and the pass was complete to Kent. Before that play, let's watch here.
Ball's gone.
Oh,
yeah. That's a little late.
Before that play, Tennessee had accumulated.
Roughing the passer on the defense. Penalty's half the distance to the goal line, creates an automatic first down.
All right, before that play, Tennessee had 199 yards to Arkansas's 35 total offense this half.
Right.
We're talking about the third quarter.
Okay,
so half the distance rather, on the penalty down to the 2-yard line.
This is a timeout on me. Sideline control warning to the Arkansas bench. That's the first.
Yep, you heard the official warning the Arkansas sideline to back it up over there. I don't know. Danny Ford is staring a hole through. I have to believe someone rather than something.
Wow. Peyton's had a pretty good day. Touchdown.
Graham gets his second rushing touchdown of the half. And Tennessee adds to its lead. The Vols by 17 now, 41-24, and the extra point will be attempted by Jeff Hall.
Tell you, when you get them, if you take a look to the left side of the line, they're just walled off the Arkansas's left side, and there was nobody outside. That was just a great down block, great around block by the guard, and yeah, when you're on a roll executing like that, it makes it pretty simple.
The kick is up and is good, and it's 42-24 Tennessee. I hope that we can get another look at those numbers put up by Peyton Manning here this afternoon, still with another quarter to play. Tennessee sideline obviously feeling a lot better. Here is Manning again.
Just a little handoff, and you see the X block, there's nobody out there. That's just great execution of walling down the left side of the Arkansas defensive line. There we go.
11 plays, 56 yards. Took over 3 minutes on the clock. But Peyton Manning has had a career day here today, and we've still got a quarter to play. 14:53 to go in the ball game. And the Vols lead it 42-24. And the Tennessee faithful serenading the Arkansas faithful with a little bit of Rocky Top.
Little Rocky Top.
Jeff Hall, freshman from Winchester, Tennessee, to kick it off for Tennessee.
See how deep he can get it into this wind.
Kicked it pretty well. That'll be taken by Marius Johnson at the 3. Johnson with another good return across the 25 and out to the 30-yard line, and a flag goes down downfield at about the 39-yard line. There's also a flag where the tackle was made, so we have perhaps 2 infractions. Look at Manning's numbers there, 32 of 42. Let's go down to the official.
Holding on the receiving team, penalties declined. Illegal block on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Boy, I tell you, remember Joe Ferguson talking about penalties in the first half? Boy, they'll kill you. They will absolutely. You got a big play coming out, running a kickback, and then you get a penalty that puts you back in the hole again. Oh, it's just tough.
And a lot of that, Conridge, with a young football team, although coaches will call it inexcusable, flags down before the snap, so the play is whistled dead. But a lot of that is out of frustration.
That's true.
You've come out here in the second half. You've played a pretty good half of football, and all of a sudden,
false start on the offensive line, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're getting pushed around, and Tennessee's marching it on you and scoring a couple of times, and there is a little bit of frustration factor there.
You got 3 plays in a row. Tennessee makes a great blocking scheme on the touchdown. You got a kickoff, you get a penalty. Now you got an offensive lineman that moves. That's 3 in a row. You know, Arkansas can't let the wheels fall off here. They've got to recompose and get back into this thing.
Barry Lunney looking at 1st and 15 now from his own 15. Hand off straight ahead to Madre Hill for about 3 yards out to the 18. Tennessee has really done a job defensively in terms of putting pressure on Lunney here in the second half.
Option to the field.
Madre Hill, somebody got a hand on him back about the 24-yard line, and he just spun around and was able to spin forward for another 3 or 4 yards. They'll put it at the just shy of the 28. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Little option to the field. That was an inadvertent flip, but it wasn't intentional. But the thing about running that option to the field, you've got to make that defensive end take the quarterback or commit to the running back. One or the other. You can't pitch it too soon.
Arkansas 4 penalties, 27 yards this half. Tennessee has not been penalized.
Big play right here. Now, the difference there was Barry Lunny thought he saw blitz, and it was a fake blitz. And the linebacker didn't come, and he tried to throw to the hot guy, and he was covered. Where on the other hand, Peyton saw the blitz and hit the wide open man. It's just, of course, that ball, I'm not taking anything away from Barry Lunny. That ball should have been caught. But it was a situation where it was,
let's
take a look at it right here. See, they faked the blitz and didn't go. And they're right there. But still, you got to catch that ball. And probably still makes the first down.
Eubanks, the intended receiver. Matt Waite punts it away. This one is going to hit at about the 42. Takes an Arkansas bounce, fielded by Tennessee, and down at the 32-yard line was Al Wilson. So Tennessee gets it back with 13 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in the ball game, and the Volunteers lead it 42-24. Now, Condridge, if you're Tennessee right here, how do you play it from here on? You lead by, 18 points with 13 minutes to play. You've controlled this second half. You try to keep doing the same things you've been doing?
I think you keep doing the things you've been doing, because you've got to keep, this machine has got to stay oiled, and because next week is going to be something, they got to play to win. They can't play to protect the lead, and I hope the Tennessee offense doesn't just try to grind this out, but spread out and do the things you've been doing, perfect your game.
Graham is stopped by Gino Bell for a loss. Let's go down to the sideline. Joe Ferguson. Joe?
Well, Arkansas's offense is going to have to open up a little bit more here. They've got running out of time. Tennessee's offense is more of a pro-type offense that can move the ball down the field in a hurry-up situation, but Arkansas's got to open up some more.
Manning with a quick out. Intended for Kent. Kent never saw it coming. Cantaloupe was there defensively for Arkansas. It'll be third down now for Tennessee and 13. And
see, that was a miscue, and I think once you're on a roll doing something with your four wides or whatever you're doing, and you're consistent, you know.
Condridge, just as big a defensive play as Arkansas's faced
right.
all day long.
They've got to stop them right here.
Third and 13.
Arkansas's coming after him.
Again, the quick out to Kent, and Kent tight roping the sideline there and is stopped just short of the 40-yard line. So it'll be fourth down, and Tennessee is going to have to kick it away. The Vols will kick for the first time here in the second half with 12 minutes, 10 seconds to play. J.J. Metters retreats for Arkansas, and Larry Pinion is on to do the punting for the Volunteers. Pinion gets an end-over-end kick away. Metters started up on him, then stopped, and ball was touched by a Tennessee player at the 26-yard line, and best field position Arkansas started in the second half.
It's the best field position they've had, and they had better field position but got a penalty, and it got pushed back again. So this game is far from being over, because we've seen that both teams can throw it and run it and get it up and down the field. But as Joe said, Arkansas is going to have to open it up, and you see they're in four wides now. It looks like they're going to do that.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way, the Razorbacks, to throw the football. Lunny dropping back, looking downfield. Anthony Lucas, the freshman. And Condridge, we have not seen Lucas since he caught the touchdown pass in the first half of the ball game.
That's right.
Arkansas hasn't been able to throw, and
that pass pattern has been there all day. Even though the Tennessee linebackers have been coached to get back underneath it, that time they didn't. But now Arkansas is looking for that play.
Lunny again. J.J. Metters. Nice move by Metters to get by one defender and inside Tennessee territory to about the 42-yard line. Going to check in with Mike Keith down on the Tennessee sideline. Mike?
Mike, one reason the Tennessee defense has played better the second half is they played a lot of people in the first half and in the third quarter. You're seeing Anthony Hampton, who made the tackle right there, Mercedes Hamilton, 99, several other Duvall backups now expect him to come back in with fresh starters to try and shut down the Razorbacks.
Lunny on first down. Back to pass again. J.J. Metters picks it off the ground, and he's going to get about 4 yards. On the pickup, it'll be second down and 6. And Arkansas, Danny Ford and the offensive coaches know that there's a long way to go in this ball game. You don't try to get it all back at once.
That's right. J.J. Metters has had a good day that you can see there on the screen.
Metters again. And let's see where they spot this one.
I think he's about half a ball short.
Yeah, a little bit short of the first down, it would appear. It is third down and less than a yard to go for the first down. And you have to figure Arkansas down by 18 in 4-down territory now. Andre Hill's going to get the first down across the 30 and down to about the 28-yard line.
This is just a little off-tackle play with power blocking up front, and Andre Hill does a good job of finishing off the run, making the first down.
And Arkansas going with the no-huddle offense.
They've got to conserve as much time as they can, score quickly, but not all at once. Too far.
Yeah, threw it a little too far. Lucas got behind his man, and Lunny just put a little too much on it.
Now, if you
Lucas had beaten Al Wilson back there. I believe it was Wilson.
That's good time. Lunny buys a little time in the pocket, but he just throw. And I tell you, if you were in a contest, you couldn't do that. Throw it and hit it off the goalpost like that.
That was Sean Summers back there.
That ball hits right off the goalpost, the crossbar.
Shadows creeping out onto the field. Not quite a third of the way out there just yet, but getting late in the day and the sun back behind us. Lunny dumps it off to Madre Hill. Hill is going to be up in it at about the 23 and up to make the tackle for Tennessee.
This is just a case of the Tennessee linebackers getting lots of depth, and they're going to give the flare route to Arkansas as long as they want to take it all day.
Deron Jenkins making that last stop. Third down play for Lunny. Throws, Eubanks makes the catch.
Got to get out of bounds there.
Well, Danny Ford shaking his head yes and twirling his wrist like he wants to keep that clock moving. Here's a replay right at you.
Just a little out pattern. That's a good catch right there. Little drop back, little back leaking through, little out route. Completion.
Lunny looked to his left the whole time just before delivering the pass, and then he looked at his receiver. There's a pass inside the 5 that's complete. Is that Lucas? It is. Anthony Lucas. Here it is again. And Lunny, the frozen rope. And Lucas with a nice catch inside the 5 at the 3-yard line now. Arkansas goal to go with 8 minutes, 5 seconds now to play in the ball game. Barry Lunny looks over the defense. Shot, the snap clock was running down, and Lunny decided to take the timeout. Well, Arkansas has to put the ball in the end zone here if it wants to have a chance in this one. But it's, I'll tell you what, you've seen a lot of offense in this ball game, and you know by watching to this point that there's a lot of time left.
Oh, there's a lot of time.
You see the
That's
two
why
sides.
I don't think you can shut your motor down. I mean, if you're doing something well, you continue to do it, and if they're not stopping you, continue to do it.
The strategy on both sides, and there you see most of the damage today has come in the air, and Tennessee has outgained Arkansas 124-40 on the ground. Barry Lunny back onto the field now. Tennessee defense is set, and Lunny is ready to go. And in motion. And off to Andre Hill, touchdown. Hill just following the blockers on the left side of that line. That was Michael Henry, the freshman out of Houston, Texas. One of the second teamers in there on the goal line. And Todd Lotterette on to attempt the extra point. Matt Waite will hold. Lotterette's kick is good. 42-31. 7 minutes, 53 seconds to play in this ball game. Boy, what an entertaining college football game, Connors.
Yes. It's points galore, and both offenses just doing what they please almost. This past drive with the Arkansas offense, I think the Tennessee defense put in a lot of second-team players, but you know, still they're expected to execute the play also. And
at this point, could you say, I suspect you could say, that Arkansas has proven that it has arrived as a legitimate player on Saturday afternoon in the SEC?
Oh, yes. I think you can.
At least this year.
Yes, you can. You can come to that assumption. Because they have proven that they can move the ball, and, you know, their offense has been very consistent. When they've decided to open it up and do some things passing-wise, they've accomplished that. You know, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Ford does here. I think it's probably a little early for an onside kick, but you never know.
Tennessee's offense has moved with efficiency today. Manning 33 of 44 with an interception, 4 touchdowns, 359 yards in the air. Kent has caught 12 passes for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Manning has used 9 different receivers in this ball game. Lotterette kicked it into the end zone. There will be no return. Tennessee must start at its own 20-yard line, which in the second half has not been a problem for Tennessee.
No, but I tell you what,
the fans
they're back in it.
Have gotten back into the game a little bit. Let's see what happens. Florida beat LSU today 28-10. Auburn over Mississippi State 48-20. Ole Miss beat Tulane 20-17. And South Carolina out of the conference crushed Kent 77-14. Graham, nothing. Stephen Conley chasing him down from behind.
Can't shut this machine down because this game is not over.
Clock moving with 7.5 minutes to play. The Arkansas crowd is on its feet. A sellout, 52,700 plus. Manning, quick out to Mr. Kent. Heavy on the mister. And
Joey's had a day today.
Out to the 27, a gain of 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
This is just a hitch to the field. You get one-on-one coverage, and this was a zone because the linebacker's trying to get underneath it, and there's no way the linebacker can get underneath it if he's not going to cheat by alignment. So Peyton Manning can see that on the snap, and he goes ahead and throws it out. We've got a penalty on the sidelines here, and that is going to be bad. They were talking about the clock. But
let's go down to the officials, see what.
Dead ball foul. It's a substitution infraction. 12 men in the huddle on the offense. A 5-yard penalty.
Now that's one that's been implemented this year. A lot of people are calling. I think you can't stay with more than 3 or 4 seconds in the huddle at one time. You have to get a guy out. That's a costly penalty.
3rd down now. And 8. Graham, and he's going to be stopped. Good job by that Arkansas defense.
Tell you what, this Arkansas team is fired up. I don't know. Well, I don't second guess people, but that would be questionable at best. But that's just a run. There was nowhere to go, and
well, Tennessee is going to have to kick it away. J.J. Metters is back for Arkansas. Metters has respect for Larry Binion. He's all the way back at his own 30. Gets the kick away, and again, it's a short kick that's going to bound. Metters will field it on the second bounce and get out of bounds at about the 43, maybe the 42-yard line, and here comes the Arkansas offense back onto the field. Kent today, incidentally, for Tennessee. Joey Kent has tied the University of Tennessee record for most receptions in a game with 13. Condridge is a quarterback. A guy catches 13 of your passes, you keep going to him, don't you?
You keep going to him. I mean, you can't shut it down.
You just kind of throw it up and expect him to be
fumble.
there. Fumble. Ball's on the ground. A scramble for it, and let's see. Tennessee has recovered at the 40-yard line.
Now that puts a damper on it, but still, you gotta. This is just great pressure from outside. Let's see.
That coming in to strip it is Jonathan Brown.
You got to get on that football. Everybody can't pick it up and run it into the end zone, fellas. Get on it.
Brown, a 6'4", 245-pound sophomore defensive end out of nearby Tulsa, Oklahoma. I bet he's got some family over here watching the ball game. Tulsa about an hour and 30 minutes from Fayetteville. Manning out of the eye, hands to the first man through. And that is Chester Ford. He'll get a couple. Mark Smith is there for Arkansas. Delco, Junior Soley. Clock inside 5 minutes now. 4 minutes and 50 seconds and counting. And Tennessee will use as much of it as it possibly can on each play. And just as I say that, Manning's got him at the line with 14 seconds on the clock.
Better be careful with the hitch over here. That's a good read. That's just a perfectly good read right there. It's they were playing two-man football to the wide side of the field. They had a seam pattern and a hitch. The underneath coverage covered the hitch and went underneath it. He throws the ball to the seam man. So that was just, that's a smart quarterback and a good execution.
Little slant pattern. Watch the replay here.
Hey, when you can play pitch and catch, why not play pitch and catch? that's a big hole.
Oh, my. Graham all the way down to the 10-yard line. What a job by that Tennessee offensive line, and Graham is having a day to remember himself.
He sure is.
Exactly 4 minutes and 1 second to play in this football game. They'll start the clock now, and we're inside 4.
That's a great block by Chester Ford, too. That's his forte, big number 20. He's a blocking machine.
And just 2 wide receivers, one to either side now. Graham.
No, one thing about that type of thing, when you can't get to where you're getting one, you can't preoccupy your mind and make it up right away, because there was a huge hole to the left of that. You just have to read it, because no blocking scheme is ever going to work the same when you're area blocking, because what happens is you block to wherever the defensive people run to, and if you make up your mind beforehand, you can really get yourself in trouble there.
2nd down and goal now from just inside the 10-yard line. Exactly 3 minutes to play. Graham trying the right side of that offensive line. He's going to get down close to the 5-yard line. Today's telecast has been a copyright presentation of Video Seat and the Arkansas Razorback Sports Network. Graham straight ahead to the 1.
Wow, he made it in.
He did.
What leg strength. That's one of his fortes, is his exceptional strength, and boy, he finished that run off.
That's just great determination. Here's,
I tell you, it's got to be a tired Arkansas defense.
Yeah, it's been on the field a long time here in the 2nd half, and Graham gets his 3rd touchdown of the day. And Tennessee leads it 48-31 with 2:08 to play in the ball game.
Now that just might do it. Might do it.
One after from Jeff Hall.
He's got 2 on the reach today.
Feeling his Wheaties, isn't he?
Yeah.
49-31. Scoring drive for Tennessee. 6 plays, 39 yards after the fumble recovery. Took just over 3 minutes off the clock. Graham with the touchdown from 5 yards out. And with a point after, Tennessee leads at 49-31. Let's go down to the sidelines. Joe Ferguson. Joe?
Well, one thing Arkansas can learn from this, they've got to learn exactly where they have to be to compete in the SEC. Tennessee's a great football team, a well-coached football team, as you saw today. So is Arkansas. Arkansas's got to take that step and do it pretty quickly.
Joe, if you can still hear me, I want to ask you about Peyton Manning and your impression of this young man. Have you ever seen a young man that's 5 or 6 games into his sophomore season now with the savvy and the poise of a Peyton Manning?
I don't think I've ever seen a sophomore quarterback as well in control of an offense as he is. He's been well coached, as we said earlier. He's got a good football team around him. That also helped, but he is an outstanding quarterback to be so young.
Well, Joe, I've got a question for you. I want to get your autograph after this game.
Well, that's fine. Just come on down those steps.
All right, buddy.
You notice he wasn't too anxious to come up those steps.
Yeah.
Marius Johnson is going to take it at the 14, and it's across the 20 out to about the 23, pushed back to the 22. I think they'll spot it at the 23-yard line, but with 2:03 to play in the ball game, Arkansas will take possession offensively. Want to take this opportunity to thank our great crew here today. What a tremendous job providing the pictures and
Did a great job.
I want to tell you, going down to the sidelines and all the camera people, our producers, directors, everybody, tape operators, what a great job. It has been a very enjoyable broadcast, and I know that those watching the telecast are very happy. Lejeune Pete Burks is into the ball game now at quarterback for Arkansas.
Yeah, we want to thank all those pay-per-view customers in the state of Tennessee and Arkansas, and I'm glad you tuned in today, especially those Lake City girls there and Lake Street girls in Knoxville. They're happy about this one.
Lejeune Burks at quarterback for Arkansas. Pete Burks, his nickname, 6'2", 190. He is a true freshman out of Houma, Louisiana. Burks hands it off, and straight ahead Marius Johnson. We've got about 1:50 to play in this ball game, and I would suspect that the clock will continue to run, but should it not and there be timeouts, we need to inform you that we must be leaving the air at 5 o'clock Central Time, 6 Eastern Time, and if that time arrives and this ball game is not completely over and we missed the last few plays, we apologize, but we have to be off the air. And there you see with 1:17, the clock is running, so I don't think Arkansas and Tennessee, neither team is anxious to stop this right now. Let's go down to Mike Keith quickly.
Mike, when Tennessee kicked that last extra point to take the 18-point lead with 2:08 to go, Philip Fulmer took his headset off and went, and I think that sort of sums up Tennessee's feeling getting out of here with a win. And then an assistant coach said, fellas, Alabama week started now that Tennessee's moved to 5-1.
Burks throws a pass that is tipped by a Tennessee defender and then hauled in by Anthony Eubanks. 48 seconds to play. It'll be first down Arkansas. Manning today 35 of 46, an interception, 4 touchdowns, 384 yards. Graham 31 carries, 130 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kent 13 receptions, 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the Arkansas side, Barry Lunney 22 out of 27, 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. Monterey Hill held to 65 yards on 18 carries. He did score a touchdown. Lucas 3 receptions, 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. Burks scrambling a bit, throws intended for Marius Johnson on the far side. It is incomplete, and with 42 seconds to play, Arkansas will face second down and 10. And let me say what a great pleasure it has been for me, an honor to work with Condredge Holloway, the former Tennessee great, former All-SEC quarterback, and it's just been an honor to have you up here, and we've seen a good football game.
Well, thank you. Sure, I've really enjoyed working with you, and I tell you, this whole setting here is just going to be conducive to making things work even better. I think Arkansas has arrived, and they're going to improve as the year goes on and be a force to be reckoned with in the SEC.
Lejeune Burks scrambling and picks up about 3 or 4 yards and goes down and calls a timeout. Want to say thanks to Jeff Muir for a great job on the stats today. Been a tremendous help up here, and all of our crew.
Tell you, Mike and Joe did a great job on the field today.
Yes, they did. And Mike, if you're listening down there, Condredge still would like those sunglasses.
Yeah.
Or at least some like them.
An extra pair do. And I'm coming down to get my autograph, Joe.
34 seconds to play in this one as we look ahead. Arkansas will travel to Memphis next Saturday to take on the Ole Miss Rebels. That'll be a 1 o'clock game in Memphis. Arkansas and Ole Miss. And need I say what's next for the Tennessee Volunteers?
Well, I can tell you right now that I know Tank Connerly and Red, and they're playing Rocky Top in the dressing room in Alabama right now. Be playing all week long. And Tennessee will start thinking about Alabama as soon as they go in and sing their little victory song today. And it's going to be a battle because no matter what Alabama's done before, they're going to play their best game next week.
Well, when Alabama sees the video of what Peyton Manning did here this afternoon, I'm sure they'll be real anxious to play. Oh, my, long throw downfield. Shannon Sidney was down there for Arkansas, and actually the crowd reacted a little bit. What crowd is still here? But actually it was Shannon Sidney that knocked the Tennessee player down. Or they got their feet tangled. There was certainly nothing intentional there. But
that was a 60-yard throw with hang time.
He can throw it. He can throw it. Let's watch it here.
That's thrown from, and that's got quite a bit of hang time too, folks. That ball's thrown a long ways.
26 seconds to play in the ball game as Burks brings the Razorbacks up to the line of scrimmage. I think we're going to get all the plays in this one, huh? Burks scrambling, heads up the middle, goes to the ground at the 48-yard line. 18 seconds to go, very close to a first down, so we're probably going to have a timeout here for a measurement, and I am not privy to the seconds that remain before we have to be off the air. But again, I will remind you that great pleasure to bring you the telecast this afternoon, and we must be off the air at 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Central time. So if we are forced to miss a play or so, we apologize for that. But with only 18 seconds left, Tennessee held them, and the Volunteers will take over 1st and 10 with 18 seconds to play.
Danny's down there coaching. He's telling him, look, kid, you know, you need the first down there. Don't go down. You got to get the first down. And that's good. You know, it's 18 seconds left. Coach Ford's still coaching. And, you know, this team is going to be a good team, and Danny Ford's going to lead them that way.
49-31. Tennessee is going to win this one as the Volunteers come to the line of scrimmage, and Manning will take a knee, and that's going to do it. The two teams head on to the field. The coaches will meet at midfield, and we have seen a good one here this afternoon in Fayetteville as the Tennessee Volunteers win their 5th game of the season. Now 5-1, 3-1 in SEC play as they head for Alabama. Arkansas gets ready to head for Ole Miss. Thanks for being with us. So long, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
We're going to see. It's wonderful, isn't it? Oh, Christ, oh, come on. Get one.
Wait a minute. This is no fun. I want to see him. I love him.